It is not Brock Heward and Mike Salk just yet. Mike Salk is actually off the rest of the week for Thanksgiving. His parents got to town yesterday, so having some family time. Brock Heward and Brady Henderson will be leading you the rest of the way through the show from 7 to 10, but you've got Lyle Goldstein and I for the first hour here. Today we are going to have a lot of football for you with ESPN Seahawks reporter Brady Henderson filling in. We've got ESPN Vikings reporter Kevin Seifert at 7:30, Daniel Jeremiah as we do every Tuesday at 8:30, and then we're also gonna do a little answer the question jerk with Brady at 9:45, so you can get your questions in for that later. And then tomorrow it's going to be a lot different. You know, it's a holiday weekend, so we have some things moving around. It's going to be Mike Lefko and Brock Heward hosting. Lyle is going out of town for Thanksgiving. I'm being moved to Mike Lefko's usual show with Wyman and Bob. So we've got some moving parts, but also some fun stuff. We're going to be doing kind of an hour on each show tomorrow where we're just being thankful for the Mariners and the season that they had. So we've got a lot of fun guests for that. Justin Hollander, the GM, and Kevin Martinez, the president of business operations, are going to be joining the show tomorrow, and also Aaron Goldsmith in that final hour of the show. So a lot of fun stuff coming up. Lyle, we will miss you. What are your Thanksgiving plans? Where are you going?
I have family that lives in New York, so somewhat shortly after the show today, I'll be hopping on a plane to fly out east to New York. But yeah, I'll be back on Monday, so it's just one show that I'll miss. But I'm looking forward to it.
What part of New York?
They're about 30 minutes outside of New York City. It's Westchester County is what they call it. That's where my dad's from and his side of the family. My mom grew up in more like upstate New York. But yeah, we'll all be there for the next few days. So yeah, it'll be good.
Fun. Are you expecting any snow?
No, thank God.
Okay.
So.
I grew up we moved a lot. It was a military family, but I lived in upstate New York for a while, and that's all I think of in the winter there.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there yet. I think it's supposed to be in the high 40s to low 50s when I'm there, so it'll be okay. It won't be terrible. It's not going to be pouring down with snow.
Nice. You guys doing the full spread? Big Thanksgiving dinner?
As long as there's cranberry sauce, that's all I care about.
That's all you care about.
Yeah, we're doing the full spread. It'll be fun. I think we're doing turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Maybe there'll be a few sides that I don't even know about. I mean, some of my cousins like to make some unique stuff, but yeah, I think it's going to be a full spread. You don't do full Thanksgivings, right?
No, no, I won't here because it's just going to be me and my boyfriend cooking. But we love stuffing, so we're going to make that. But then my dad does Thanksgiving dinner over again, and I go home for Christmas, so I'll get it then. But yeah, cranberry sauce I could take or leave. Stuffing's my thing. I'm with Mike Macdonald.
I was about to say, you and Mike Macdonald are in the same boat.
Yeah,
He's like
he was
stuffing
big on that
far and away above everything else.
That was the easiest question for him to answer that they've given him, because normally he's a very thoughtful guy, and he kind of pauses and takes some time to process what they asked him. And his 3 favorite Thanksgiving items yesterday was the quickest, and I've seen him answer anything that they've given him, and with the most conviction.
I mean, I'd hope you'd know by this point what your favorite Thanksgiving dishes are. Yeah. He's had 30-something of them.
Well, he pretty much just said stuffing and then named 3 different kinds of pie with ice cream. So I thought that was pretty fun.
I mean, Mike Macdonald sounds like a lot of the rest of America, where you look forward to almost everything else around the turkey more than you do the actual turkey.
Yeah, that seems to kind of be the theme the more we talk to people about it this week, that the turkey's just kind of there.
I mean, it has to be the centerpiece.
I just love gravy so much. I think that I don't mind the turkey because I just pour a bunch of gravy on it.
I mean, to be fair, if I'm ranking my favorite things on a Thanksgiving platter, turkey's not number 1, but it's the whole idea of that's the centerpiece. If you were just going to eat a bunch of sides, something feels like obviously it's missing. Yeah, some people replace turkey with, I've heard steak, I've heard ham, which McDonald is not a fan of, like you said yesterday. But I don't know. I almost feel like if you just do sides for a Thanksgiving meal, which I'm sure some people do, something's empty, something's missing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You need something a little heartier to round it out.
Yeah.
All right, we won't bore people with our food thoughts much longer. I did want to get into some news yesterday because the Seahawks play the Vikings this weekend. J.J. McCarthy has entered concussion protocol. He apparently started experiencing symptoms on their travel home after Sunday's game. So this is going to be interesting. That leaves them, because Carson Wentz was their backup, but he had shoulder surgery at the beginning of the month and is out for the rest of the season. That leaves them with undrafted rookie Max Brosmer as their option to start Sunday. He played at New Hampshire and Minnesota. And I think he got some playing time in the preseason and then maybe a few snaps in a game in September when JJ went out hurt for a minute. But other than that, he is pretty unknown. So honestly, I think that this might be for the best for JJ because he's struggling mightily right now. And I think sometimes playing a defense like the Seahawks after he just played the Packers, who are a pretty tough defense, something like that can wreck a young quarterback and their confidence. I don't know what's going on with him, but it's probably for the best that he sits this one out. Even the Vikings at this point might want him to sit this one out. But I don't know what to expect from Max Brosmer. And honestly, sometimes that can be kind of weird, at least to start a game. I'm not worried about the Seahawks defense against this undrafted rookie at all. But every now and then that means that a team can get, a couple good series against you when you don't know what to expect.
I mean, didn't that happen a few years ago with John Wolford a few times when he was with the Rams? Just thinking about one example.
Which, funny enough, he's on their practice squad right now. He's the other quarterback they'll have to call up.
Oh, he is?
To have someone behind Brosmer, yes.
I didn't even know he's still around. How about that? Yeah, I mean, it's hard because J.J. McCarthy's only played 6 games. Now, in those 6 games, he has not looked good at all. But, where are you sitting right now if you're the Vikings? You can't possibly be ready to already jump ship, right? I mean, it's hard because he hasn't looked good, and you put all this draft capital into him, but it's also understanding he's played 6 career NFL games after missing all last year. So.
They were in such a tough position because you invested this draft capital in him. I think they wanted to see if they could get Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones to stick around and kind of be a mentor for him this year, but those guys wanted to be starters, and so they had to let them go. And JJ was recovering from his injury until almost right up to training camp. They really didn't get to see what they might be able to get out of him. They kind of had to head into this season blind. And you understand why they did it, because that's supposed to be their quarterback of the future. And I guess they did try to limit some of the liability by getting Carson Wentz, and then he got hurt. But, man, it's a tough position that they're in, because you also look at what some of these quarterbacks who were written off are doing now, and you can't write JJ off after what you said, 6 games. But also, this was a team that was 14-3 and a playoff team last year. They still have an 11th ranked defense. They still have Justin Jefferson, and they're 4-7 and on a 3-game losing streak, last in their division.
I think that's probably right. You have to keep playing them. You can't jump ship on them. But it's not feeling good, I'm sure, if you're in Minnesota right now. And they're almost in a similar spot to what the Niners are currently going through. I mean, it's the same, but it's different. And what I mean by that, we were talking about it before the show started, which is if you want to look at last night's Monday Night Football game where, look, the Niners beat the Panthers, but Brock Purdy threw 3 picks. He did not look good again. But what are the Niners going to do? Are you going to yank him for Mac Jones? Mac Jones has played significantly better. I mean, he was playing really well while Purdy was out. But what are you going to do? You paid Purdy all this money. You have to play him. If you're the Vikings, it was a similar idea going into this season. I get you had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, and it is probably a really, really tough pill to swallow right now if you're Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings, watching those guys thrive elsewhere. But going into last offseason, what were you going to do, right? It's like you used a top 10 pick on a quarterback. You put all this draft capital into a quarterback. You had to let him go play. And so you had to give him the leeway, even if looking back right now, it's really, really hard to do because obviously there's 2 quarterbacks that you had in your building that are absolutely thriving elsewhere.
Yeah, and I think they do have to stick with him this year when he's healthy. But Dan Graziano of ESPN was asked yesterday during an overreaction segment if it is an overreaction to say that they could have a different starting quarterback next year, and he said no.
No, it's not an overreaction. At the very least, I would expect the Vikings to bring in some sort of veteran competition for J.J. McCarthy next year, much like the Indianapolis Colts did this past offseason, bringing in Daniel Jones to compete with their former first-round pick, Anthony Richardson. And we all know how that turned out with Jones winning the job. McCarthy's been worse than they could have possibly expected him to be. It's only a 6-game sample, but we have a stat called EPA, expected points added. He has a minus .24 EPA per dropback. That is by far the worst in the league. Dylan Gabriel's next worst, minus .14. That means every time he drops back, he's costing his team a quarter of a point. Over the course of a game, that's 7.5 points. That is not okay. They need to figure out how to get it better, and if that means going with somebody else next year while he continues to learn, then I think that's what they'll probably do.
That is a staggering stat. It adds up to 7 points. But yeah, I think, you saw what the Niners did with Trey Lance as well, if you're going to reference them. Like, I think sometimes you can still give him the chance to compete and still try to develop him. But if he's not coming along next year, I think they have a good enough roster around him that they have to find someone who can play quarterback for them.
If they really do jump ship on him next year, that's really going to be a storyline, because then you did have 2 quarterbacks inside your own building that you could have kept and were thriving elsewhere.
It is, and I can only imagine that Sam Darnold coming into town this week just rubs salt in the wound even more.
There's no doubt.
All right, well, please stay with us. We're going to, coming up, tell you everything that you need to know, and then we're going to let you listen back to what Coach Mike Macdonald had to say on the Mike Macdonald Show yesterday. You're listening to the to Brock and Salk on the Seattle Sports Station and Seattle Sports app.
JSN's a superstar.
Wyman and Bob.
JSN is a star. 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Every afternoon at 2.
He plays a little game with the acceleration. He'll choke it down a little bit, and the DB can only react to him. Then, at some point, he accelerates. And so that's where he gets just that little, what he's doing, Bob, is he's chasing edges.
That's what that means.
That's exactly what that means.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/JOY.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with the princess cut. At Shane Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Mike Macdonald gave some injury updates in his afternoon presser yesterday, saying it was too early in the week to see if Eric Saubert and Julian Love could return to practice. We'll know a little more on that Wednesday. He said that IR is possible for the 3 players injured in Sunday's game: running back George Holani, safety Ty Akata, and linebacker Chaz Surratt. He did have a little bit more info on Tyrese Knight and Ernest Jones.
Yeah, hopeful for both. It looks like Tyrese is on track to practice on Wednesday. We'll see. EJ's normal rep load throughout the week. We take care of him a little bit on Wednesday, so we'll take that as it goes. But I know he's itching to play, so we'll see how the knee feels throughout the week.
Sounds positive on the linebackers, which is good since they lost another one on Sunday. It's starting to get a little depleted there. McDonald was asked on our show yesterday during his morning appearance about the O-line. He had said the week before that when asked about the O-line play after the Rams lost, that the offense needed to eat more, and we wanted to get a little more into what that actually means.
I mean, it all started with effort, ankles, and tackling, and then we moved it to offense, and then we actually CP is really the guy. Chris Parcher's really the guy who came up with it. We actually came up this week. We're like, hey, what does the A stand for? And CP's like, I don't even remember. It's just a way. It's just a way of life. It's just how we operate. So it's really just our kind of our just rallying cry of how we want to finish plays as a team, and having respect for the game that the hidden yard stuff matters. How you finish plays on the sideline, how you finish tackles, how you finish on the right angles of blocks and where the ball is, and how you split double teams. All those things. That adds up. There's a huge difference in our league between 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. It's a huge difference. So, we understand that those things add up over the course of a game.
And I think they did that Sunday against a good Tennessee Titans defensive front. You could see those run lanes open up and see how efficient Walker and Charbonnet were. So they were out there eating, Lyle.
Eating.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, if people are looking for news on the Mariners' hot stove, it is quiet. And it's about that time of the offseason, right? You're about 2 weeks out from the winter meetings. People are gearing toward Thanksgiving. There's not a ton moving. But if you're looking for any news related to the Mariners, I guess the one thing that's floating out there right now is The Pittsburgh Pirates, of all teams, are reportedly interested in Jorge Polanco. That report came out yesterday. They've got interest in Polanco, they've got interest in Ryan O'Hearn, and they've got interest in Kazuma Okamoto, which, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. The Pittsburgh Pirates are going to go pay players, especially in free agency. I mean, you're going to have to actually ink pen to paper to get me to buy into that one. But if you're looking for Jorge Polanco news or for news about guys that the Mariners are tied to, their DH from last year obviously being one of them. He's obviously got a market out there, and he's being linked to other teams. So we'll see how that plays out in the next couple of weeks. This is the same team in the Pirates, though, who reportedly offered Josh Naylor a 4-year for $80 million deal before the Mariners signed him back just last week. But then it turned out that maybe that was a little bit of stretching the truth, because Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich in The Athletic yesterday then reported saying the Pirates never actually made an offer to Naylor. According to people briefed on the discussions, just 2 weeks after the conclusion of the World Series, Naylor reached an agreement with the Mariners on a 5-year contract. The deal happened so quickly, the Pirates didn't seriously get involved. So they offered Naylor a deal, but didn't actually offer Naylor a deal, which, again, when they say that
Is
the
it
Pirates...
the thought that counts?
Sure, let's go with that. So when they say they're interested in Jorge Polanco, let's use that same sentiment. It's the thought that counts, and unless they actually plan on inking him pen to paper, I think I'm going to believe it when I see it. So that's what's out there Mariners-wise. David Schoenfield of ESPN also wrote an article talking about some free agent superlatives, and for the Mariners, he had them linked to Devin Williams, just talking about how they could add to that bullpen even further, bolster that back end of the bullpen, which, again, if the Mariners are going to sign a bullpen arm, he is number one on my list of priorities, because he's not going to cost what Edwin Diaz and Robert Suarez will cost. He is one of the best relievers in baseball almost every year, and I just didn't think he fit in New York last year. So I think if he pitches in a place like Seattle and gets out of the Bronx and back to a pitcher's and gets into a pitcher's park, yeah, sign me all the way up. He'd be back to being one of the elite relievers.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Well, as we mentioned in the opening segment, the Seahawks' upcoming opponent, the Vikings, placed their quarterback J.J. McCarthy in concussion protocol yesterday. Head coach Kevin O'Connell explains.
J.J. McCarthy, over the course of our travel home, reported some kind of symptoms and in regards to, his head, and we wanted to get back here once we, kind of heard that. He was evaluated last night. And after completing those tests, our training staff and doctors and medical team have decided that the right place for him is to put him into the protocol for now, and he'll go through that process this week.
McCarthy had been struggling mightily with a league-worst 24.8 QBR, but Minnesota's backup quarterback is a pretty unknown, undrafted rookie out of Minnesota named Max Brosmer. Last night on Monday Night Football, the 49ers overcame a tough start from Brock Purdy to beat the Panthers 20-9. Purdy threw 3 first-half interceptions, but the Panthers were only able to turn those into 1 field goal. The 49ers started to pull away at the end of the third with this McCaffrey rushing touchdown.
Play number 13 on this drive, tossed to McCaffrey, gets blocking, and a touchdown.
That made it 17-3 Niners. McCaffrey had 142 all-purpose yards. The Panthers rounded out their last 2 drives with an interception and a missed field goal, so the Niners get that win. And the NFC West stays looking pretty tough.
Like the best division in football tough.
I would say either them or the NFC North.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
Bears are 8-3. Lions are really good. Packers are good. Yeah, they'd match up too.
Yeah, but pretty similar boat. It would have been nice to count the Niners out, but you just can't do it. It's impressive what Shanahan's been able to pull off with all the injuries they've had this year, and with not having their starting quarterback for most of the year and him not really playing well last night.
It's amazing. He threw 3 more picks.
You hate to see it. All right, that is everything you need to know. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the head coach, Mike Macdonald. We got into some really interesting conversation yesterday with a question that Brock posed about stimulated pressure. Turns out that that's not something the Seahawks do a lot of, but people thought that it was something they were doing. Mike Macdonald will explain next. You're listening to the Brock and Salk Show on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer, and this year Seattle Sports is hosting Mariners Thanksgiving.
How about that?
1 hour of Every show is dedicated to the Mariners all day tomorrow.
And they got it! Wow!
9 to 10 a.m. with Brock and Salk, featuring Mariners GM Justin Hollander. 11 to noon with Bump and Stacy, featuring President of Baseball Jerry DiPoto. And 4 to 5, Mariners manager Dan Wilson joins Wyman and Bob. It's Mariners Thanksgiving with the 2025 AL West champion Mariners and Seattle Sports.
Of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Styles change. 12s grow. But Seahawks love, that's forever. From the young fans in their fresh new jerseys to the lifelong 12s in their throwback jackets. At the Pro Shop, we've got gear for 12s of every age and every walk of life. This is the Pro Shop. Shop official Seahawks gear in-store at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton, or online at Seahawks.com/Pro Shop.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
The following is a paid advertisement for the Wellness Company.
Hey there, it's Michelle Smallman from Unsportsmanlike. I'm thrilled to be joined by Dr. Drew from the Wellness Company. And Dr. Drew, you have something very exciting to talk about today, the medical emergency kit. Tell us a little bit about this.
It is exciting. Look, I have been fighting to try to protect the patient-physician relationship my entire career, and we have lost. I finally decided I need to be involved with people that put the power back in the patient directly. These emergency kits give you everything you need so you don't have to spend $1,200 going to the emergency room. And we have a significant medical team, the medical board at TWC, and we just sat down and put together what we would want for our family, for our patients.
Oh my gosh, so anything that anyone could need is in this
and there's
kit.
a guidebook here to tell you exactly how to use it, and again, telehealth backup.
It's remarkable. It's innovative. Everyone needs to get one. UrgentCareKit.com/sports, promo code sports to get $50 off your kit. That's UrgentCareKit.com/sports, promo code sports.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
This year, make comfort the first gift during the Black Friday sale at Home Comfort Alliance. Through December 1st, call to get savings up to 75% off furnaces, air conditioners, backup generators, EV chargers, water heaters, and more. If your system's over 12 years old, upgrade now before it breaks and save. And remember to schedule your consultation before December 1st and save up to 75% and take 18 months to pay off 0% financing OAC. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. Catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, and more. You've got 2 great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season. Or go with a flex membership and choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh.
Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This is the Mike Macdonald Show, presented by your local 76 and Conoco stations, exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach, another win yesterday. Thanks for coming in this morning and chatting about it. What impressed you yesterday? What impressed you with your team?
Wow, a few things. Just finished watching the tape here about an hour ago. I'll tell you what, our guys played really hard. You had a feeling, it's tough. It was a noon. It's kind of a weird time because it's central. You're traveling. It's a long. We can't take these travel days for granted. It's a pretty big undertaking, and it takes a lot for the guys to get going. And I thought the guys played hard. I didn't think we weren't sluggish. The guys are trying their tails off, and we fought, and we did a lot of good things. I think in each a little bit more individually, and there's some really great. I think we're going to show the team today. There's some great series of events that are really complementary and that let us step on the gas. And then there's some series of events that weren't as complementary, and we're acting a little bit independent of one another. And I think that's how you end up with the score that ended up being. So, and it's a tribute to the Titans too. I mean, they kept battling, and the quarterback made a lot of plays down the stretch where some off-schedule plays that he made some throws, and so they deserve some credit too.
I've heard scouts use the term, Mike, stopping power when it comes to tackling as a safety, as a linebacker. When this guy hits, does what he hit from an inertia standpoint stop and then go backwards? Man, it felt like yesterday, whether it was Drake, whether it was Ty, whether it was Patio, whether it was D-Law, man, there were half dozen double-digit numbers where it was just hit, and that thing absolutely stops and goes backwards. How do you evaluate that? Do you look at that in that term of stopping power, or is it a measurement that you guys use?
Well, it's a great point. I thought our guys tackled really well yesterday, even in space. I mean, I know we missed the one on fourth down, but Reek had some other ones that were in open field, and he made some good plays as well. So obviously we want to make that play, but you're right. We take a lot of pride in we want runners going backwards. On offensively, we want to finish going forwards. Defensively, we want runners going backwards. And normally it takes more than one guy, so that is really like a 12-1 type of idea of let's get to the ball, let's knock it back. And we knew this. We had a really good feeling going into the game that it was going to be an eat game, really, in all three phases. So when we talk about eat, it's really how you finish plays. A lot of those hidden yardages that we needed to go in our favor. And defensively, we did that a good bit to get them to second and long. Offensively, I thought we finished runs going forward, which is a positive. There's a couple we got to get cleaned up. And special teams, I thought we played a great game up in exception for the punt return. You can't live like that. You can't live with, living in the exception world. But so overall, I thought it was positive. But you're also leaving it saying, hey, look, we got to play better in some of these other areas.
We got a ton of questions about your team that we'll get to in a moment. But it's twice now I've heard you talk about Cam Ward, and it sounds like you were pretty impressed with what you saw. Brock and I was talking about him all morning.
I was. Yeah, I was. He's slippery. There's a strength and a slipperiness to his game, and he's a hard, tough guy to get on the ground. Going into the game, they were taking a lot of sacks, and I thought you keep seeing him improve, I guess is my point. And so it's, hats off to him, and he'll continue to get improvement. And the arm talent is there. I mean, a couple balls in some windows where we don't normally see, and was able to move the sticks that way. So we gotta get cleaned up on that front. But
it's interesting. Sorry, I didn't mention McNair, but having played McNair a couple times back in the day in the division with him, there is just a sturdiness to him, and then that elusiveness. You're like, man, he shouldn't be able to get out of D-Lot's grip or some of these guys, but he did. Hey, can you tell me what EAT is? EAT an acronym as well? When you said this was an EAT game, or is that?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it all started with effort, ankles, and tackling, and then we moved it to offense, and then we actually. CP is really the guy. Chris Parcher is really the guy who came up with it. And we actually came up this week. We're like, hey, what does the A stand for? And CP's like, I don't even remember. It's just a way. It's just a way of life. It's just how we operate. So it's really just our kind of our just rallying cry of how we want to finish plays as a team, and having respect for the game that like the hidden yard stuff matters. How you finish plays on the sideline, how you finish tackles, how you finish on the right angles of blocks and where the ball is, and how you split double teams, all those things, that adds up. There's a huge difference in our league between 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. It's a huge difference. So, we understand that those things add up over the course of a game.
Effort.
Did I answer that? Or just black out there?
Yeah, both.
Hey, I wasn't going to ask you about this, but it does lead to this, and I don't want to get you fined. So please don't get fined on this. But is there ever going to be a hip drop tackle called? Like when JSN, I think, broke the record, actually, that reception that ended up breaking the record, and it's hard to tackle guys, and he's really hard with his center of gravity. But if there was ever a textbook, I'm going to go high, I'm going to drop down, I'm going to go right to the ankle. Like, is that just out the window now? Is that not something that's ever going to be called in the game?
I think it is one of the penalties. One, I think it's hard to call in real time because there's a lot of criteria that goes to it. So a lot of the way that the league has been enforcing it is through fines. That's how it's been showing up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
that makes some sense.
I'm not going to.
So even fines for plays that aren't called on the field.
Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. It's just, it's the way it goes, as they review the tape and all that type of stuff. But, and I honestly, Brock, I didn't watch it through that lens of saying, like, did he hit all 3 criteria of the hip drop? It didn't look great by any stretch, but sometimes there's some tackles that look really bad that by the letter of the law aren't illegal, so
gotcha.
I can't tell you whether that hit all the criteria or not, but it will probably be a play that we turn in and get some clarification, so we'll see.
I'm going to ask you in advance for a little grace on this question because I'm not entirely sure how to ask it, and it's a little outside of what we're capable of knowing from our position, but it has to do with some of the personality of this team. We're not in the locker room every day. We don't get a chance to know them the way you do. It strikes me, and Brock and I have talked about it a little bit over the last few weeks, that from the outside they seem almost fun-loving. There seems to be a joy that they play with. Some teams play the disrespect card all the time and are angry and tough guys and emotional. And this team seems, at least from the outside, to be almost fun-loving. Is that a fair description of them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I understand. I get this similar feeling from the guys. And it's funny when we were like describing what we want our team to be, like fun. Like they kept asking me, like, "What about fun? Like, what does fun mean?" And I'm like, "Nah, it's not fun. There's like we're not having fun. We're working it." But it's like you think about it, you're like, well, having fun is like doing the process with the guys, with your boys, like, and then it's like doing high powered stuff and realizing like how it all plays off one another and understanding like the power of that, and to me, that's fun. It's not just like fun and games. It's just like it's doing some great stuff with the guys that have a lot of respect for and you love, and you're trying to do something really special together. Like that, to me, that's fun. But our guys have been like the spirit of what we're trying to create of like loose and focused. I think is definitely on its way. I mean, the guys are shadow boxing all the time. I mean, they're having a great time, and then laughing, and competing, and doing all just enjoying each other's company. But then when it's time to, do what we need to do to, get our work done, they do a great job of kind of clicking in, and then we knock it out. And it's not like, okay, hey, it's time to work, and all of a sudden we're like super. It's just now we're back to focus. We're trying to get something done, and let's keep it moving forward, which is really cool. If you play the emotion card, like to me, it's like how many times can you play that card? It kind of goes against our, what we're trying. every time we go out on the field, we're trying to uphold a certain standard type of philosophy rather than like, okay, like with this game, we're going to be emotional. This game, we're not, or this is a practice where we can take it easy. Or this is just a walkthrough. Like it lends itself to some of that thinking, which you're trying to eliminate.
We know you were a dual sport star in high school. We saw your swings there at T-Mobile at batting practice. I said to Salk earlier in the show that now every time Sam lets the ball go and it's JSN on the other end, it feels like Cal Raleigh. Every time Cal Raleigh hit the ball in the air, you're like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to end well. Do you find yourself knowing the play call that's coming in and seeing the different looks? And if you get a one-on-one and the minute Sam releases it, are you finding yourself with that same, I'll play that fun card again? Or kind of what goes through your mind as that ball's in the air heading 11's way?
Well, I wish I would be a little bit more on it, a little more frequently, Sometimes I'm thinking about what's going on next on defense. So sometimes my mind's in it, like what's going right there in those plays. Sometimes I'm locked into exactly what the offense is doing, just to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
But when it does, like we had the touchdown to Jax in the end zone. That was a hairy thing that Sam did a great job of getting us lined up. We were behind on the play count or the play clock. The earlier explosive to Jax was cool. You see how the play kind of comes together, and you understand that it's protection takes a lot of time to take some time to let them get down the field. So how the protection holds up, all that type of stuff. What are they doing on defense? I was trying to call out in my mind what Denard was calling, because there's a lot of similar stuff. So there's a lot going on in your mind, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But yeah, it's exciting.
Brock and I were talking about him earlier, unsurprisingly, given the record and given the game he had yesterday. And Brock was sort of referring to him as almost a quiet wide receiver, not on the field, not with his play, but compared to a lot of the top wide receivers in the game who can be noisy, who can be demanding, who want the ball, who can just be a challenge at times for the team around him to deal with. How valuable is it to have a guy who's a number one wide receiver that doesn't create a lot of extra noise?
Look, I mean, I don't want the answer to say that it discounts Jax's competitiveness. So, by all accounts, he is really at every level that he's been at. What all of his teammates and all of his coaches have said is this guy is just an absolute dog, and how he competes. And I felt that at Michigan when we played him, and then we felt it since we walked in the door. I mean, what are the stats in that Ohio State game? He must have gone for one. What was it like? Can somebody look that up quickly? It's 150.
The Rose Bowl game?
No, and the snow game in 21.
Ohio State, Michigan. I mean, Lyle will get right on that.
He caught a lot of balls for a lot of yards. Let's put it that way, and some high leverage situations too. But look, I can just speak to Jax and the type of guy he is. He's just, I think he's very determined to become the player that he's becoming, which is really great. And talk about having a player that has a vision for himself that's aligned with the way the organization sees him, which is really cool. Shows you the power behind that, and the power of being a great teammate too. I'm thinking you're talking in Cooper Kupp. This guy is Hall of Fame receiver who's a Triple Crown winner, and what he's poured into Jax as well. Try to build his teammates up. I mean, that's really cool. I think that rubs off on the rest of the team, including Jax, and then. And it just shows you the type of guy he is. He's just a great dude. He's a great dude that's really competitive, and he loves his team. He loves his teammates, and he wants to win. And one of the best ways for us to win is to get him the ball as many times as we can. But it's also, to have success on offense and play complementary, football and all three. All that type of stuff matters. And so he's bought in on all that, which is awesome. It shows a great example for the rest of the guys.
Okay, so what's your guess? We got the numbers. I know you football guys. You never forget some of these things. What's your guess in that?
Okay, I'm going to say I want to either say it was 9 or 11 catches for 143.
Close. 11 for 127.
That's pretty good.
Yep, you're right there. That was in the snow.
Only 4 years ago.
Yeah, by the way, in the snow in that game, but you never forget. That went the way of the Wolverines, I believe, though, did it not?
Yeah, we won despite
him
not being covered.
Hey,
I'm going to ask you about a guy that I've never asked about before, Jason Myers, and not about his field goals.
The kickoffs.
We got to talk about the kickoffs.
Yeah.
So we were almost comparing it to a golf deal where you now with the kickoffs have to have some distance control in terms of how deep you're kicking the ball and trying to get it to land in this landing area.
Right.
What has made him so effective at it?
Well, I mean, he's a really talented guy, and then it takes a lot of work to do. Like, it looks simple in what he's doing, but I mean, to your point, I mean, it's very measured in how long the ball is going, and the direction where it's going, and how he's hitting the ball is also, like a really, really cool skill. And I haven't talked to Jay about it, but it does feel like he made the adjustment, like they were catching some of those dirty balls on the fly, like, further down the field, and he made an adjustment. So, okay, now we're going to kick it to the back end line, and that really helped us. And it's such a high leverage play now is the kickoff. I mean, teams are scoring touchdowns. If you screw it up, they could get the ball, at the 40-yard line or at the 35. And if you do it right, you're starting drives at the 20, 25-yard line, and that's a tremendous. I mean, we're talking about, nerd out. It's expected points, but like if you start a drive at let's just say you start a drive at the 25 versus the 35, that's basically like a point. It's like 1 point for the Seahawks, So, like the one that the guy dropped out of bounds. I haven't seen what the expected points on there, but it's probably around 1.5 to 2 points for us, and just in one play. So, that's some big time stuff that really helps us.
All right, we can nerd out a little more because I enjoyed some of the football conversation last week. We talk about simulated pressures. You'll hear analysts talking about that, broadcasters talking about all of these different simulated pressures. Mike, years ago, I did a Rocky Long, the old disciple of the double eagle, and Rocky and then his tree, like their guys would find, and one of the guys, I said, frankly, how many different ways can you get to double eagle at the snap? And he said, we figured 42, somewhere between like 42 and 44 different iterations with all their personnel that on the snap, you kind of get to that front that they want to get to, right?
Yep.
When it comes to your simulated pressures, have you ever counted how many of them you've got in your voluminous playbook?
I'm going to disappoint you guys. We do not run a lot of simulated pressures. People say we do, but we really don't. We have them.
So what do you call them? How do you?
No, that's what we call them. If we bring one, drop one, bring two, drop two. Like the way we define simulated pressures is like you're rushing four. You're just bringing an unaccounted for guy and dropping an accounted for guy.
Yep.
But we just don't run a lot. I think we called 4 yesterday, and none of them worked.
Well, you kind of got 4 other dudes that are pretty good at getting quarterbacks.
We got to execute them better, and I got to not call them in crappy situations. So three of those are on me, and I'd say one of them are on us. But we have them, Brock, and it's a great tool. It's a great tool, and Tennessee ran it. A few of them yesterday that were good for them. But we just don't do it. We put a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage and to try to manipulate protections and set up other pressures, which is probably what people are talking about. Like we put 5 on the line and drop a guy, but a lot of the times it is like the off the ball player that is the guy dropping.
What do you call that if it's not a simulated pressure?
Just a 4-man rush.
Just a 4-man rush, but with a complication, we
call it with some sauce,
Some sauce.
Put some sauce on it.
All right. A little sauce.
So between simulations and sauce, you can present quite a few different looks to a
so that's cool because like for us, it's what we try to do. We try to make some simple things look more complicated to our opponent, and to our guys' credit, they can make that come to life pretty simply.
I love your quote after the game last night, talking about the depth on the team and some of the guys who have stepped in, and you said you were, quote, excited to see them play.
Yeah.
I mean, where does that come from? A true excitement to see the next guy up actually come in and play the game?
Well, it comes from seeing it in practice. It's really that simple. It's just something that is really important to us here and we've had this, it kind of like clicked, earlier in my career, like you see, when young guys get a chance and you're sometimes like, oh crap, so-and-so's got to play, or like that's a huge difference than, oh, so-and-so gets to play, that's what we want it to feel like. And that's critical to building depth. I mean, all those things, but one of the things that I think that's important in our league is you have to get great reps and stack those over the course of the spring and the summer. Otherwise, guys don't develop as much. If you're just running card team looks all day and you're just stacking non-significant reps, well, you're not getting any better. So, some people are like, well, you can't take that many reps throughout the season. Well, yeah, what kind of reps, and who's taking the reps? Is it young? Like, there's time and a place for young guys to get reps, and it allows them to. And how do you structure your scout team? Like, do you let them go play football, or do you put them in a box and tell them to go bang their head against the wall, or jump double moves and that kind of crap, which we don't subscribe to that theory. We want our guys to go play and compete and take care of one another, but they're working on their game as well. And a lot of times we want them to running our calls. So, but it's coming from practice. Like Patty O is just a guy that we have an ongoing joke here is like, when we're going to block him, he's the mic. We got to block the mic.
It's pretty good.
Hilarious
Stop
joke.
that kind of
That's
quick.
a really funny joke.
What, Patty O? No.
It's a running joke. We've got to block the mic.
Yeah, it's just like you're showing tapes like, hey, we got to block the guy in the middle right there.
Yes, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He was pretty good yesterday. Hey, I got a fun perception reality, and we have Thanksgiving this week. So I have one Thanksgiving question. So you may have injury questions. Good luck on those. But I have one perception reality question. And that is when you grew up in the Northeast and down in Georgia, and you coached in the Northeast and in Michigan, and you looked from a perception from afar at the Seattle football fan, these 12s. And maybe you watched games, and certainly you played the Seahawks or whatever they came to you. But, like, just growing up, and you had this perception in football of, like, okay, this is who the 12s are. And then the reality of living it as the head coach for the last year and a half plus, Mike. What's the perception versus the reality?
Well, I made a mistake. I asked Dave, and Dave did remind me, so I dropped the ball on this. But I wanted to lead yesterday's press conference. I wanted to lead this thing, and so I'm going to lead today's later press conference with a shout-out to our 12s, because that was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Them traveling from all over everyone that I must have had multiple people tell me that the people were coming from Arizona, and the plane was filled with 12s. That's crazy, right? Like, John was saying that his plane, they came down early to scout. Their whole plane was filled with 12s, and they're like, they're going Seahawks, on the plane on the way to Nashville. I mean, I've never heard anything like that before, and they were incredible yesterday. Just came out in waves. I mean, we almost anticipated them having to be on the silent count on offense. They didn't have to be, but I mean, what an absolute! I mean, it's just incredible showing by the 12s, man. So just so much respect. Thank you. That was big time. That was awesome. And our guys loved it. They were talking about it. So that was really cool. But perception, Brock, is like, look, we don't want to go over there. We don't want to go to Seattle. Like, why do we don't, and that's because of the environment that they create. So, and then reality is it's real, it's real. And they're hungry for a great team, and for a team that I think brings energy and is representative of the things that are important to them. Sticking together, being tough, resilient, and playing great defense, which is what we're trying to do.
Between hungry and eat, you've kind of led perfectly, like a radio host to Thanksgiving. Top three,
oh, yeah, definitely
top three items on the Thanksgiving table. Top three have-tos.
It is stuffing, by the way. It's not dressing.
Dressing. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, stuffing. Okay. And then just pie, got to have all the different types. Pecan, it's pecan, not pecan. Pecan pie. There's a spot for pumpkin pie. Apple pie, definitely with ice cream. Probably shows you where my priorities lie, which is not a good thing.
Carb guy.
Somewhere Spoon is listening to this and he's going to give me crap later because I enjoy ice cream on Saturday night. But turkey's okay. Ham, not as okay.
No. You ever put the cheddar cheese on apple pie?
No.
It's like a New Hampshire, Vermont thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Boston thing.
You never tried that?
No.
All right.
What else is there? I'm not stuffing's by far and away the best.
Yeah, you got to simulate some of those things on the table, Brock. Just some simulated sides.
Yeah,
this year
you got to take one side and put one side on, take one side off.
Right. There There you go. Coach, congrats. Nice win. Home game finally this week, which is nice after a couple on the road. You get to see Sam's old team, which should be fun as well as the Vikings come to town. Have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, you two guys. Thanks.
Some good Thanksgiving takes there from the Seahawks head coach, Mike Macdonald. We're going to be talking a lot of football the rest of the day. We've got ESPN Seahawks reporter Brady Henderson in for Salk, and Brock will be joining us next. And then we have ESPN Vikings reporter Kevin Seifert at 7:30, and our normal hit with Daniel Jeremiah at 8:30. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Brock and Salk Show on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
JSN's a superstar.
Wyman and Bob.
JSN is a star. 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Every afternoon at 2.
He plays a little game with the acceleration. He'll choke it down a little bit, and the DB can only react to him. Then, at some point, he accelerates. And so that's where he gets just that little, what he's doing, Bob, is he's chasing edges.
That's what that means.
That's exactly what that means.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with 0 investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year, which means a small investment for all your big adventures. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that pastry pilgrimage to France for fear of mispronouncing croissant, take advantage of Babbel's biggest sale of the season. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Get a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Mark is sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Well, we'll get half that combo this morning. Good morning to Brady, the Hitman Henderson, sitting in for Salky today. How are you, pal? You doing well? You looking good?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Feeling
How
good?
are you?
Gonna talk good? Looking good? Feeling good? Gonna talk good? That's the key for
something like that. Yeah. How you doing, Brock?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I am doing pretty good. This season has just kind of flown by as we're here in Thanksgiving week. And, like we talk about in the high school football world, when you're still getting a chance to practice football during Thanksgiving week, that's a good thing. That means like you're O'Day Fighting Irish. That means you're playing in the state semifinals in Washington and Colorado. So a whole bunch of fun in that way. And, man, a whole bunch of fun in Nashville. Maybe too much fun. I think we got to start here, Brady. I wonder if you would co-sign on something one of your peers said on this trip. I believe it was the great, wonderful Greg Bell from the Tacoma News Tribune, my old hood, who tweeted out something along the lines of there's NFL travel and then there's Nashville.
I would say that's true. Yeah, Nashville has become one of my favorite NFL cities to travel to. Unfortunately, I've gotten to go there. I think this is the third year in a row because they played there on Christmas Eve a couple of years ago, and then they had the joint practice ahead of the preseason game last August. And then, this last trip was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it
was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
ESPN give you a curfew or,
No curfew.
No curfew for a grown man.
Yeah, no curfew.
Do they book your flights or do you have to book your flights or do you have a travel agency do something?
No, yeah, we book the flights. And if we miss the flights, we also rebook them ourselves. If you miss a second flight after you rebooked the initial one, you also rebook that third flight as well. Thankfully there's, I'm fortunate. I only fly a certain airline, and when you fly the airline long, enough, you get a certain status, and they don't make you pay to change your flight. Now, the penalty for being late to the Brock and Salk show is a little more severe than the penalty for missing a couple flights. So I was not going to be late for that. I was not going to miss the start of the show.
You've not had to sing on this show. Nope, that has not happened.
I got a song queued up too if I ever do, but it's not going to happen.
Well, you enjoyed it. Everybody that traveled there sure seemed to enjoy it. And Mr. Macdonald, I asked him yesterday because it was. You can hear the 12s quite often, right, through the television broadcast, especially when the game is going Seahawks way. They have always traveled. It's never as if that voice is diminished. But, man, was it electric? Was it alive on Sunday in Nashville? Asked Coach Macdonald yesterday if it was just different, if he felt those 12s the way, well, we sure felt them through the TV. Here was his answer with us.
I made a mistake. I asked Dave, and Dave did remind me, so I dropped the ball on this. But I wanted to lead yesterday's press conference. I wanted to lead this thing, and so I'm going to lead today's later press conference with a shout out to our 12s, because that was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Them traveling from all over everyone that I must have had multiple people tell me that the people were coming from Arizona and the plane was filled with 12s. That's crazy, right? Like, John was saying that his plane, they came down early to scout. Their whole plane was filled with 12s, and they're like, they're going Seahawks, on the plane on the way to Nashville. I mean, I've never heard anything like that before, and they were incredible yesterday.
Is it different this year, Brady? You've covered the team now for, a decade? Or close to it in your role with ESPN.
Yeah.
And obviously that was coming on the heels of the Super Bowl runs and everything else. And I know there was still great popularity then. I was doing the preseason games, and you travel with the team, and you fly back, and they're all sitting there at Boeing Field, and they're sitting there around the entrance to the VMAC at, whatever, sometimes 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, it didn't matter. So as I said, the voice has never diminished. The passion has always been there. But does this year, with the way they're playing and where they're sitting and the upside of the youth and what guys are doing, do you feel as you travel this year a difference?
I'm not going to say I do, no, because like you said, they always have traveled well, and I don't. It's hard to know, how big the difference is when you're just kind of viewing it from the press box or viewing it at the airport. I mean, I can tell you that.
Oh come on!
Everything that Macdonald's saying
there. You're just in the airport in the press box. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Brady?
Well, no.
You're not a man on the streets. Are you trying to tell me?
Okay, I did.
That you're not there singing and dancing and having fun. Are you trying to tell me, Brady Henderson, that you're nothing but all work when you travel?
No, that's clearly not the case. No. And there were a lot of Seahawks fans out on Broadway. So Broadway is the main kind of bar area in Nashville. Awesome place if you ever get an opportunity to go. Live music everywhere, multi-storied bars with bands on different levels. And, yeah, there were a lot of Seahawks fans out there. There's no doubt. And there were a lot at the game. I mean, that first catch that Cooper Kupp caught, you hear the Coop chants. And it's like – it almost, I'm not going to say it was nearly as loud as it is at Lumen Field, but you could have briefly mistaken it for a Seahawks home game. And, there was a lot of empty seats there in that stadium. And that's obviously a 1-9 football team that just not a super passionate fan base right now. And so and it's a great city. So there were naturally a lot of Seahawks fans there, but that is the case. I mean, last year they had them on the silent count in Arizona. So there are certain places where Seahawks fans travel really well to. And that is kind of the other side of the conversation of, what's going on with the home field advantage and people selling their tickets and all that. They still travel really well, and this is one of the cities that naturally they're going to travel well to.
So if it may be hard to gauge the fans, and I get that, and it may feel very similar because they have, as I said, always traveled, and you have felt that energy from them. How about just you covering this team? Does this feel different than last year, Pete's final year, the last 3-4 years? Just in the overall, like, man, these guys got a shot. Because I remember in 12 what that felt like. Certainly in 13 and 14, everybody knew, you felt the roster. Like, if I'm not asking you to gauge the fans, how about just you and your work, what you put together, your power rankings, your eyes watching this productivity, and again, a game back from the number 1 seed in the NFC right now. Does this feel different for you in covering them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that they're better than the 2013 or 14 teams. I don't think so. I mean, I think this is probably the deepest team that I have covered since I've been at ESPN. So I started at ESPN in 2017, and I don't remember even going back to those Super Bowl teams. I don't remember them having this deep of a roster where you can plug in guys like Ty Okada and not really miss a beat at safety. Patrick O'Connell comes in as, their, third string inside linebacker, and he's flying around hitting the crap out of people. And you just see it at other positions and stuff. So this is definitely the deepest team the Seahawks have had in a while. I would say at least since I started at ESPN in 2017, this has got to be the most complete team. That 2020 team was good, but defensively, I don't think they were in the same ballpark as what this team is doing. And, you also had Russell Wilson, who was kind of getting up there in age, and the play was starting to decline a little bit. And this is the best Seahawks team that I've seen in a while.
Ooh, I think it's fair to say. Oh, look at that right there. Just put that little stamp on it right there in the segment. Man, I felt this the last time you were in, all right? Like, man, this guy's good. This Brady Henderson, he's getting this whole 3-hour radio show thing down. He's figured it out, and now he's even helping book guests, for crying out loud. I mean, you're just taking it next level. One of your peers at ESPN, Kevin Seifert, who covers the Minnesota Vikings, who are going to be coming to town this upcoming weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, maybe doing so without their quarterback. And holy cow, after a dream season with Sam a year ago, they've fallen off the cliff. So we'll get all things Minnesota and what's going on there in the Twin Cities from Kevin Seifert. That will be at 7:30 after everything you need to know, all sorts of injury updates, lots of things happening. Pat Chun talking, everything you're going to need to know. That's coming up next with Brady and Brock right here on Seattle Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Bob Stelton. Make sure to join Seattle Sports, Mariners Thanksgiving, all day tomorrow.
Julio, a tremendous catch.
1 hour of every show is dedicated to the Mariners, their incredible ride this season, and bright future ahead.
Holy smokes.
9 to 10 a.m. with Brock and Salk, featuring Mariners GM Justin Hollander. 11 to noon with Bump and Stacy, featuring M's President of Baseball Operations, Jerry DePoto. And 4 to 5, Mariners manager Dan Wilson joins us on Wyman and Bob. Nothing says Happy Thanksgiving like Thanksgiving with the AL West champions Seattle Mariners and Seattle Sports.
Well, Molly came home yesterday with some groceries. You could see the ingredients, getting ready. The turkey's in the freezer. We're going to thaw that sucker and get her ready to go, too, because, well, Thanksgiving is now just 2 days away. And right afterwards, you know what's coming, right? Just a couple weeks later is Christmas. So do you or somebody on your wish list this holiday season want the gift of fitness? Well, Brock Heward here in the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event. You don't have to wait till Friday. It's going on right now. I'm talking about saving $1,000 on Inspire gyms, treadmills, and yes, even true treadmills. How about free delivery and assembly on Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and bikes? You can also save, this is a great deal, up to 50% on last year's display models. With Olympic weight bars at $50 and home gym attachments and accessories, they too are up to 50% off starting at only $10. No secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or simply go to topfitness.com and see all the details on the Black Friday sales event going on right now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Black Friday Comfort Sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri, coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968. Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The best time of the year is here, Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, the first thing you need to know, not only was Mike Macdonald thrilled about all the 12s in the organization, traveling to Nashville, having a blast, having a great time, he was also pretty interested in a bunch of banged-up Seahawks. And, man, we ask him every Monday morning about injuries. A little harder on Monday morning, Brady, because he's still taking in information. That's where guys are going to get scanned. They've not really been in the building yet, so you see them the day after. Now, when you guys sit with him in the afternoons, he's usually got a few more updates. He did yesterday, in particular, on that linebacker crew that got really decimated, even more in Tennessee.
Yeah, hopeful for both. It looks like Tyrese is on track to practice on Wednesday. We'll see. EJ's normal rep load throughout the week. We take care of him a little bit on Wednesday, so we'll take that as it goes. But I know he's itching to play, so we'll see how the knee feels throughout the week.
When you started 10 years ago, Brady, I've said this a lot on the radio show because I don't remember it being like this at all. In 1999 through 04 when I was playing, injuries were a part of it. But it wasn't like every press conference, every practice report, everything seemed to center around who's available, who's not available. I mean, it's a major part of your job too, right? Try to figure out who in the heck is going to be able to play for these Seahawks.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to compare their injury situation to that of some other teams. But I know that when you look on just the injury report, so every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they send out an injury report, and it also includes the injury report from the other team, and it just feels like consistently the Seahawks have 4 or 5 more guys, listed every week than the other team. So, but yeah, it does sound like they've got a chance to get some guys back this week. The 2 linebackers. We'll see about Julian Love and Eric Saubert. They've both been on IR. They're both eligible to come back this week, having missed the required 4 games. But according to Macdonald, at least yesterday, it was not yet clear if they're going to be back this week. And when I asked him post-game about Love, he made the point that the reason they put him on IR was to make sure that by the time he got back, he was all the way back and they weren't going to have another setback. So they're not going to force him back. And if he needs another week, they're going to give him another week, and we'll see what that looks like.
And by the way, that may sound negative on my part. I don't mean that to sound negative. They spend so much time and energy and resources and staff to make sure they get these guys to be available when it matters down the stretch here, right? I think that's why a Jaron and a Julian and these guys hey, man, we know the battles. We also know the war. We want to win the war. And the war is winning the Super Bowl. And we know having guys available and your best available when it matters is a big, big part of those teams that weather the storms through the playoffs. So I don't mean that in any negative light. It is where the game is today. Everybody is trying to get these guys to stay as healthy as possible in still a very violent football game.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, as you said, it's not just the Seahawks that go through this. Heck, you watched the 49ers last night, and, man, there's no Fred Warner, there's no Bosa, there's no a lot of guys, first-round pick, and yet they keep on winning. That is not the case with the upcoming opponent. Minnesota has been beat up. Quarterback has been beat up. J.J. McCarthy's been struggling on the field in production, struggling with those injuries. And how about this one, Brady? I found this. I think there's some meat on this bone. This was the head coach, Kevin O'Connell, reporting that J.J. McCarthy may not be available this week. Here was the head man in Minnesota.
J.J. McCarthy, over the course of our travel home, reported some kind of symptoms and in regards to, his head. And we wanted to get back here once we, kind of heard that. He was evaluated last night. And after completing those tests, our training staff and doctors and medical team have decided that the right place for him is to put him into the protocol for now, and he'll go through that process this week.
Have you gotten to see them on crossover tape or games or sports bars? Have you gotten to see a full Minnesota or half of a Minnesota game this year?
I've watched a little bit, and Kevin is one of the best reporters that we have at ESPN, so I've read plenty of what he's written about J.J. McCarthy and the struggles and the decision that has clearly backfired on the Vikings' part. And, I saw Kevin tweet out a clip of a play where it looks like it may have been the play that did it for J.J. McCarthy. He gets rid of the football and kind of gets tackled from behind, and his face just slams into the turf. And then he gets hit on the way down as well, too. So, look, serious stuff we're talking about here, and good on J.J. McCarthy for reporting some symptoms.
Not good on Minnesota because after I said a dream season a year ago where they were nearly the 1 seed, they are on the outside of this playoff picture. And if he can't go, it'll be the great Max Brosmer. New Hampshire via the Minnesota Gophers, via undrafted, that would be under center on Sunday.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Oh, college football, Brady. College football. Used to be Thanksgiving week, and it still is rivalry week, and there's amazing, amazing games. Ohio State, Michigan, Auburn, Alabama, all sorts of implications. But what an absolute disaster and fiasco and mess as Lane Kiffin's gonna compete, gonna play in the Egg Bowl on Friday, Mississippi State, and then gonna make his decision, I guess, right afterwards. We're gonna figure out whether he's gonna coach his team in the college football playoff or he's not. Pat Chun, AD of Washington, friend of mine, great guy. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense, as he said this on the Amber and Ian show nationally on ESPN Radio.
This is our environment. I mean, we all have competing interests. We all have differing opinions. But when you look at what's happening now and take all the names and everything, like all the coaches and the schools out of it, like our teams should be able to complete their season before we do anything to begin on the following year. That's just a follow. And really, that is signified by a championship game. And until that championship game is concluded, then the next year can start.
The fact you even have to say that. I mean, yeah, players got to transfer. Right, last year, the Penn State backup QB, Bo Prabella, who, good for him, transferred to Missouri, started this year, has had a good year, although injured. Like, literally had to leave Penn State during their national title run because the portal opened, and if he didn't go in the portal, the musical chairs were going to stop, but he wasn't going to have a place to stop. I mean, it's just so incredibly nonsensical.
Yeah, and it's unappealing. I mean, there's a number of reasons I don't watch college football. One of them is I usually traveling every other Saturday during the fall. If I'm not traveling, I'm playing golf. But the reason I'm playing golf and not watching college football is because there's just so many things about it that are unappealing, and this is one of them. And there just seems to be a lack of common sense and a lot of acting in what is not in the best interest of the players, of the student athletes.
That is everything you need to know. I actually agreed with Lane Kiffin yesterday, and because he was asked about all this noise you're creating and all this job search, and he was like, hey, sorry to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the world we live in, and the players today, they're in the same boat I am. Like it's not noise to them. They're talking to their agents. They're trying to get more money. They're looking to where they could go. Like every individual player that has a market and value is doing the exact same thing that I'm doing as the head coach. Like this is the market we're in. So do you think they're distracted for the Egg Bowl? They're chatting with their agent. Hey, if I do this, what doors are opening here, and how much can I get there? And have you talked to Lane lately? And how much more can I get in my money? Like it's as you said, common sense unfortunately left the room some time ago.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's what Lane Kiffin's saying.
There you go. Hey, you can join us. This is really, really cool. Throughout the day tomorrow for our Mariners Thanksgiving special. We're dedicating an hour of each and every show, so it'll be our 9 a.m. hour tomorrow to celebrate the 2025 American League West champions, almost at 26, and previewing the 26 campaign interviews with Jerry DiPoto, Justin Hollander, Dan Wilson, as well as broadcasters, executives. If you miss anything, you can find the interviews on our YouTube page or via the Seattle Sports app. That's going to be a ton of fun tomorrow. You know what else is a ton of fun? When Brady says someone's really good, really informed, that you trust immensely, that does an amazing job in the market out in Minneapolis that you do, Brady, for ESPN here in Seattle. We got to chat with him, and I'm looking forward to this. Tell me just a little bit about him. Has he been on the beat there in Minnesota as long as you have here?
He has, yeah. He's been. I don't think he's from Minnesota, but he's been covering that team for a while with a stint. At one point he was covering the entire NFC North for ESPN. Then he moved into more of like a national role, but he's back on the Vikings and years and years and years of institutional knowledge about that team.
Well, it'll be great to chat with Kevin Seifert from Minnesota. We will do it next right here on Brock and Salk. Brady sitting in for Salk on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
What impressed you yesterday? What impressed you with your team? We had a really good feeling going into the game that it was going to be an eat game really in all three phases. So when we talk about eat, it's really how you finish plays, a lot of those hidden yardages that we needed to go in our favor. And defensively, we did that a good bit to get them to second and long. Offensively, I thought we finished runs going forward, which is a positive. There's a couple we got to get cleaned up.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Join the stations of Bonneville, Seattle, and Treehouse for the 37th year of Holiday Magic, helping provide holiday gifts and year-long support for the more than 6,000 youth and young adults in foster care statewide. Over the 37 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes!
Are you planning an event in 2026? Make it unforgettable at T-Mobile Park. Mariners suites and group tickets are perfect for any occasion. Fundraisers, school outings, work parties, family celebrations, and more. Enjoy customizable catering, flexible setups for 14 to 400 people, and epic game day views, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Get ahead and start planning your event today at mariners.com.
Dave Wyman here, joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis, a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, how does CyberKnife compare to other prostate cancer treatments?
So one of the advantages of the CyberKnife platform is that the treatment can be concluded in just 5 days, as opposed to other treatments that require anywhere from 26 to 42 days of radiation.
How do patients feel about their experience?
Patients overall tell me that their experience was really amazing. They had minimal disruption of their lives. They didn't have to take time off work. And they tell me it's like Star Trek, where you push a button and the cancer can go away.
That really is amazing. It's almost too good to be true. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnife-prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Oh, Brady, you know you've come a long ways in the business. When you fill in and you say, how about a guest? How about Kevin Seifert? How about one of the best to do it? In my position around the NFL, who's been doing it so long, so trusted is Kevin out in Minneapolis covering the Vikings for ESPN, and kind enough to get up early. Not as early as us this morning. You got a couple hours on us, Mr. Seifert, but thank you for taking the time to join Brady and I, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for the kind words.
Yeah, you got it. Not a lot of kind words going on with the Viking football team there in the city?
It's been a rough one here for pretty much most of the year. And I think, and to their detriment, there's still a long way to go still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kevin, one of the reasons why I told Brock that I trust you in your analysis and your reporting on the Vikings as much as you do is, A, you listen to the War on Drugs, which is my favorite band, and B, you've been covering that team in that market for a very long time. And I'm curious how much, I imagine that you're going to tell me that's a lot, but how much has there been a conversation about just the decision that the Vikings made to not, bring back either Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones and ride with J.J. McCarthy, who it's become painfully obvious is not ready to start?
There's been some, but it actually hasn't been as intense locally as it was and has been nationally, because people here have been rooting and hoping and praying for a young, highly drafted quarterback to be introduced into their world and to actually be put on the field and to give them a chance to have what's really in their history a successor to Fran Tarkenton. They really haven't had a long-term starting quarterback play at a really high level for a long period of time since then, if you think about their history. And so everybody was all in, I think, at the start. And I think the disappointment is more that he hasn't been better than second-guessing the decisions that they made. You could come up with still, I think, with some pretty rational arguments for why bringing back Sam Darnold in that situation would have been at least uncomfortable. And you can understand, I think, from a rational standpoint, why Daniel Jones thought that the Colts situation was a better one for him than the Vikings. And you can see why Kevin O'Connell thought about Aaron Rodgers but decided not to do it. That might be the one that's the most debatable given what's happened now. But I think people are just mostly just disappointed and feeling the weight of the history of this franchise in the fact that J.J. McCarthy has not played better than he has.
ESPN Vikings reporter Kevin Seifert here with us. What is going on with JJ, Kevin? Because I liked him out of school. I covered him I think I did a game of his every year at Michigan. He was a winner.
Sure.
I thought he was tough. Thought he understand the NFL game. That's not a volume game, but you've got to be big when the moments call for it. And he delivered in those moments, especially in their national title season. From your eyes and your perspective, what the heck is going on with his play?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that I don't know that the Michigan offense or any of the offenses that he ran were as timing-based and as anticipation-based as what he's being asked to do here. If you watch him play, you see just kind of a frenetic pocket presence, like he's still, and it's not completely shocking given his lack of experience and the fact that he really didn't get any practice reps all last year as a rookie because of his injury, but that he just isn't comfortable yet just stepping and throwing, without a hitch or two. And in this offense, and probably in a lot of NFL offenses, like that delay really can throw everything off. And so in terms of pass protection, in terms of where the routes are sequenced from the different reads. And so he's just not appeared comfortable in that scenario yet. He's got good athleticism, but I think he's finding out that his speed and his escapability is not to the point where he can routinely get away from the pass rush and make things happen on his own. And so and when he has tried to do that, that's often resulted in sacks or injuries. And I guess that's probably it in a nutshell, that if you had to do it over again, you would realize that, or they would realize that he probably wasn't as close to being ready to play on a playoff caliber team as they thought.
Hey, Kevin, let's talk more about Sam Darnold. What was it like watching that breakout season he had last year? And, what was your view particularly of what happened down the stretch in those final two games? One thing that is really stood out about the way he's played this year, he's only been sacked 11 times in 11 games. And obviously that great season he had with Minnesota ended with a 9-sack debacle in the playoffs.
Yeah. I remember thinking in camp last summer that I was shocked that this was the guy that had sort of flamed out in New York and in Carolina, because he looked like he had a lot of the tools that you would want any NFL quarterback to have, and from the arm to his footwork in the pocket and his ability to go through multiple reads over the course of a drop back. And the receivers here loved him. I'm not surprised. I guess it's not surprising that a Justin Jefferson or a Jordan Addison would love to have a quarterback with that kind of arm, just and accuracy, just delivering strikes 25 yards down the field. So they loved it. But when it came to the regular season, I was like, there must be some catch here. There must be some reason why he had not been successful anywhere else, and that just never really clicked in. He just continued to do what we saw in camp, and you just got the impression that it just sometimes, and maybe oftentimes, it just takes a lot of time. He was still only 27 at that point, and it can take a while before all the different things that a NFL quarterback has to deal with clicks. And so that was the case for much of the season, and then I think the Rams game in the playoffs got a lot of attention because of the sacks. I think we're finding out that the Rams defense is really good, as you guys saw a couple weeks ago. The game that really shook a lot of people in terms of their confidence that he would be able to play at a high level for a long period of time and get them play at like a Super Bowl caliber level was the previous week against the Lions when they had guys running open all over the field and he was just flat missing them. He was just kind of sped up, and whether it was nerves or whether it was like this is finally playing in a real game that mattered. That was the game that was determined who would be the number one seed in the NFC, and it was at Ford Field, as pressure packed of a regular season game as you could possibly imagine, and he just fell way short of it. And so that game shook people in the building and fans and reporters who were watching it as well. And so when they decided that they were not going to make the investment that it would take to keep him, that was a big part of the argument why, and I couldn't deny that, the rationale of that argument. And so it's great that he has gone to Seattle and sort of picked up on the regular season that he began here in Minnesota last year. And I think people here would say, like, let's see what happens when you get to December and to January, and if he's able to take that next step.
Was it the week before that Detroit game that he was carried on the shoulders of his teammates in the locker room?
Yeah. And so that was
what
the
a wild
Green
3
Bay
weeks, huh? What a wild
it
3
was.
weeks that you get carried like the savior and the hero, the conquering hero, in your locker room by your peers, which resonated with me because you just don't typically see that in a regular season. And then the challenge in Detroit, and then obviously the manslaughter in LA that wasn't all on him. But what a wild 3 weeks, huh?
Yeah, it was. And I remember thinking at the time, like, this is like the great closing scene to a movie, but it wasn't the end of the movie. It was
right.
They hadn't even. I mean, they had clinched a playoff spot at that point, but they hadn't won the division. They hadn't, gotten it. Certainly hadn't gotten the number one seed in the conference. And you look back on it, and that was almost like the climax of the movie, and like everything else was kind of things that the Vikings would prefer not to remember.
Well, what do you know so far about Max Brosmer? I actually, last year, I was telling Brady off the air that in the season opener last year of North Carolina at Minnesota, the Gophers, we got to do his first game. And oh my gosh, Kevin, you would have thought Tom Brady had landed in PJ Fleck's lap. Him and the Harbaugh, the coordinator, were thought, and the teammates, like, this is the brightest, greatest, most talented 5 years in New Hampshire. You just wait. This guy, honestly, we left production meetings, and I remember turning to Benetti like, I mean, is this a Heisman contender? Like, they think the world of him. And he did some good things and got into a bowl game and everything else. Undrafted guy. And if JJ can't go, tell me and our audience what your perspective on Max Brosmer this season.
Yeah, and it's funny because some of that enthusiasm has absolutely carried over to the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell doesn't really go to pro days, but he always goes to the Minnesota Pro Day because it's 20 minutes from the facility, and he's friends with PJ Fleck and just likes to go hang out. And Brosmer did the last 2 pro days because he had already transferred from New Hampshire for the 2024. So he caught his eye, Kevin O'Connell's eye then, and then they had him in for a visit prior to the draft and loved going through tape with him. And what they found about him, there's lots of reasons why guys don't get drafted, height, weight, arm strength, whatever. But what they really were impressed with him was just how quickly he makes decisions and gets rid of the ball. And if you watched him in the preseason at all, you'll just see exactly sort of the opposite of what we were talking about with J.J. McCarthy. It's like, whether just trusting the routes, trusting the receivers, and 1, 2, 3 step throw, or going from progression to progression. And so, and that's what Kevin O'Connell talked about yesterday when he talked about Brosmer, is that this was a veteran's level ability to use his eyes to go from 1 to 2 to 3 in terms of his in terms of the reads on a particular route. So they trust him from a mental standpoint and his ability to physically execute that. I've been one of those people who've been like, there's locally, because he played in Minnesota, there's already a lot of fans locally that have been pining for him, even, as the backup quarterback is always the most popular guy on any team. And so conversations been going on around a lot locally. For an undrafted guy and for a rookie, I think they have a lot of confidence in him. There's a few people in the building who have sort of half-jokingly referred to him as their Brock Purdy, and take that for what it's worth after last night, I suppose. But that's certainly a compliment in terms of any undrafted rookie. And so for the level that he came in at the NFL, I think there's some optimism that he'll be able to run their offense and potentially run it a little bit cleaner than what J.J. McCarthy was running. I've been trying to just hold people back and just say, look, like for every Brock Purdy, there's 1,000 guys that never make it in that scenario. So, and so we'll see what he's able to do. But he does have the trust of some guys like Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown, the quarterback's coach, who have seen a lot of quarterbacks and I think are pretty trustworthy in terms of their assessment. And we'll see what all the other stuff can bring. But he certainly has a capacity to operate their offense potentially a little bit cleaner than what J.J. McCarthy was.
Well, on the way out here, we're going to let you go, Kevin. Can I ask you two personal questions? Brady knows. Brady's like, oh, gosh, what are you going to do now?
Yes, I am.
Because I will at least ask
Kevin.
beforehand. Like, I got a couple personal questions. Any relation to George Seifert? Any relation through
No, and as great as that would have been, I once did get his hotel room at the NFL owners meetings when I just walked up to the front desk and said, "There's a room for a reservation for Seifert," and I ended up getting this awesome beach
sweet
front view, and he probably had the room that next to the ice maker that I was supposed to have.
That's
no
good.
relation.
Okay. Secondly, have you ever missed a plane? Like, man, just, maybe he was out a little late in Nashville. Maybe he was out a little late in one of the ever missed a flight home the next day?
I sure have not. That is like the number one, maybe the biggest psychological fear I have. So I'm get to the airport 3 hours early guy, if anything. And yes, that's my I don't know if that's a shot at Brady or not, yeah.
I did not miss a flight. This past weekend.
Good.
I actually missed 2 flights.
Yes,
excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. If you can handle that and not have just a full blown panic attack like I would have, then more power to you.
No, I was calm in the pocket, my friend.
Yep. He's
getting through my progressions.
Kevin, thank you so much, man. That's some great information. You checked every box that Brady said you would. Great stuff, and have a great time coming out to Seattle. As you know, it's an awesome venue to watch a football game, and the 12s and the Seahawks playing pretty good, man. So should be a good battle Sunday for y'all. Thanks for the time, man.
Thanks, Kevin.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
There he is, Kevin Seifert, the Vikings reporter for ESPN. All his years, never, ever missed a flight. Oh, get there early. Be prepared. Separation is in the preparation, as some used to say.
Yep.
But the good news is Brady's always ready for Blue 88. In fact, fired a question my way to ask him that I can't wait to hear his answer. Here's a little Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
I actually love it when Brady's in because I get to fire a couple his way in Blue 88 here. And we'll start kind of where we started the show 45 minutes ago, Brady, where you said, I think pretty clearly from a Seahawk perspective, this team, maybe the deepest you've covered. Is this the best Seahawk team? 11 games into a season that your eyes have seen in this position.
Yeah, it's the best Seahawks team that I have seen, at least since I started covering the Seahawks full-time for ESPN in 2017. I think the other 2 teams that would be in that mix were the 2019 and 20 teams. And that 19 team was great on the road, made it to the playoffs. They went into Philadelphia, beat the Eagles. DK Metcalf had that great breakout game. 2020 team went 12-4, but remember that year, they ended up 12-4. Yeah,
that was a
2020
COVID season, right? No fans.
No fans, yeah. And remember, that was the year where defensively they were pretty good, but faced a lot of I would say, lower tier quarterbacks that year, and that was probably really helped those defensive numbers. So this team, obviously they beat Cam Ward, who's a number 1 overall pick, but was one of the lowest rated quarterbacks in the NFL in terms of total QBR, and they're going to have another favorable quarterback matchup this year. But they have also done it against some better quarterbacks, and I think just the depth is the other thing that really stands out. This is the deepest Seahawks team I've seen since maybe those Super Bowl years, when you look at their ability to plug in guys like Ty Okada and not miss a beat. Patrick O'Connell comes off the practice squad, and he's running and hitting and knocking the crud out of people. So this is a deep Seahawks team, and again, the most complete team I've seen in a decade, I would say. Question number 2. Brock, what's going on down in Vegas? Do you think Pete's going to survive this?
I don't. It's just that's a gut. That's no intel. That I remember listening to a national show, Brady, a couple weeks ago, when they were still like, "Hey man, 2-6. It's rough, but you can still kind of rally the crew, circle the wagons." And it's just not happening. And listening to Coach Carroll, this was him yesterday, cut number 8 here, talking about the move to fire Chip, and I didn't particularly love this answer either.
I've been doing it this way for a lot of years, and it's a winning formula for if you play good defense and you kick the ball well. And so we're trying to get that, and we just have not captured it. And so this is what this move is about.
Is there a little bit of a differing opinion on that between you and Chip on?
Not so much so, but we gave him I gave Chip a lot of leeway because he's got an extraordinary background in history, and he had such a phenomenal season coming out of Ohio State last year that we wanted to, give him his due and all that. But as we continued to grow and come together, we just couldn't get there. So I wish him the very best, and I like him, and we got along great and all that, but we had to make a tough call.
Chip, 6 million reasons. $6 million salary for Chip Kelly. Like the amount of waste in Vegas is just, I know at the buffet is extraordinary, but same thing with some of their dollars and cents, Brady. And so what I hear there is Coach said, yeah, we gotta run it, gotta run it and kick it. But you can't do that. Like they don't have a line to run it, and they don't have a good defense. Like they just don't have the pieces, and I don't know if he will have the time. And if Mr. Spytek and Mr. Brady, those two, his owner and GM, are going to have the patience, frankly, to build this thing around Pete at this stage of his career, which, again, just further bums me out. Question? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that they have not had a lot of stability at head coach, and you can make a very clear argument that they need some stability there.
Or GM or alignment or any of that stuff, unfortunately.
Also, a lot of cooks in the kitchen there between the GM, Tom Brady, who's the minority owner, Mark Davis, who is the majority owner. So it's I think one of the reasons why it's tough to know what they're going to do is it's tough to really figure out who is making that decision at the end of the day.
Question number 3. It's funny you sent this, Brady, because I was looking at Sam Darnold's numbers the other day, trying to kind of take a deep dive on the sack numbers, which you referenced there with Mr. Seifert, which have been extraordinary. Just 11 sacks in 11 games. It was over 40 a year ago in Minnesota. Remember, Geno was sacked 10 times Sunday versus the Browns. Sam's been sacked 11 in 11 games. But there's another number that jumped out to me, and it really resonated with you as well. What is a number that's particularly different in Sam's game than in previous 7 years?
Yeah, 16 rushing attempts in 11 games this year, and that is on pace for about 25 rushing attempts, which would be his fewest in any season except for that season in 2023 when he backed up Brock Purdy and only played the one game. So Sam Darnold is not running the ball a whole lot. And the reason I went back and looked up this stat is because there was a play in that game on Sunday where it looked a little bit different when I went back and rewatched it. Now, this was the play where he's rolling to his left, and he throws the ball to A.J. Barner at the goal line, and it gets deflected and is nearly intercepted. In real time, I thought there was maybe an opportunity to run there. And there's some classic Monday morning, Tuesday morning quarterbacking here. When I rewatched it, I don't think didn't look like he forced the throw that much, and it didn't look like he actually had as much room initially. But the point remains is that he's not running the ball all that much, and it's kind of surprising when you consider how often in this offense he naturally gets outside of the pocket. And we've seen him How many times have we seen him make big-time plays, on the run while escaping pressure? So he's getting out of the pocket a whole lot. He's just not running it a whole lot, and I don't know if that's by design, if that's just accidental, but it's something I'm interested in asking him about when we talk to him later this week.
That is a little blue 88, yeah, because I actually had a friend during the game text me, and like, why isn't Sam running? Like, it's almost purposeful to not run. I said, well, it's kind of created a lot of big plays. I think JSN is pretty happy he's not running, because many times, and in fact, in the game, just a few plays later, he scrambled, he stepped up, he went to his left and made the throw down the field, and it was a big explosive play. And he really has had a hyper focus when extending the pocket to throw it down the field. And maybe Cooper Kupp and JSN and those guys feel too, Brady, for the first year together, it's pretty darn extraordinary. Because a lot of times those secondary plays, and we watched that with Russell, right, develop with Doug and with Lockett and these guys, and it became like almost the play. Like you almost wanted the play to break down so things could happen down the field. Sam's really keen at that, but to your point, yeah, he's not running it. And by the way, he ran for 225 yards last year as a Viking.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't as if he's never done it just last season. Maybe out of some desperation at times, running away from sacks, but he is a good athlete, and there may be some meat on that bone.
Yeah, I haven't seen, as I think about it, I have not seen a lot of plays where you're looking at the game and saying, oh, he's got this wide open, like, why didn't you run it there? I mean, there's maybe been a few, but and again, even I don't know if you saw the same thing I saw on that play near the goal line, where it maybe in real time it looked like he had a lot more room to run than he actually did. When I went back and watched it, there was a couple defenders that he's not going to beat to the goal line in that situation.
I think he had a 24-yard run
in Arizona.
Yeah, that's right. So he is lean and athletic and capable, but obviously hard to nitpick, because a lot of big plays have come when he's been outside the pocket, extending those plays with the arm as well. There was a little game last night, and you know what? I keep receipts, Brady. I don't know if you know that or not. I keep receipts.
Yeah, let's see them.
I keep receipts. Not like Louis Riddick, not like some others, Dion, but I keep my receipts. And I remember when you were on the last time, you and me, I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago, you had a declaration about a certain NFC West team. I wonder if you still feel that same way about that team and this NFC West. Is it the best? We'll dig into that conversation with Brady, sitting in for Salk right here on Brock and Salk.
The one and only Mark Schlereth with Wyman and Bob.
A lot of us expected them to win by multiple touchdowns. Turned out to be a bit closer than I think anybody was comfortable with.
I thought the Seahawks dominated for the majority of three quarters, and I thought for the most part, Seahawks handled them. He gave them like I said, a cheap touchdown drive late in the game and all that stuff. I thought the Seahawks dominated from start to finish to continue to put the foot on the pedal, so to speak.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time.
Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year, which means a small investment for all your big adventures. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that pastry pilgrimage to France for fear of mispronouncing poisson, take advantage of Babbel's biggest sale of the season. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of management.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
A month ago, the great Hitman was in. I mean, let's give some credit to Salk. Salk's not missed a lot of days. So, Hitman, you've not been in a lot. And, in fact, Daniel Jeremiah coming up in 30 minutes will be the first time that I think Salk's been out for a Daniel Jeremiah show. Or did you fill in actually the day that was that a DJ show? I think that might have been a
Brady
DJ
did
show
a couple back to back. That's when Daniel Jeremiah started making fun of Salk for never being there.
That's right. So, but not a lot, Brady, not a lot. But I do remember 4 or 5 weeks ago, you saying very clearly, yeah, I feel like it's the end. The wheels are coming off. You just can't survive Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, the old 49ers. They're wagging those wheels up in Gold Rush territory. They're done. They're over. And I don't know. I looked up last night, and, well, there they are again. 8 wins, beat up Carolina team, got after those guys. Bryce Young, who were playing for a first-place position in the NFC South, and made those guys look very mortal. So 2 questions, Brady. Yeah. Number 1, are the San Francisco 49ers still alive? and viable? And number two, is the NFC West the best division in all of the NFL?
Yeah, the San Francisco 49ers are still viable. They're 8-4. Now, I feel like getting the Denny Green soundbite queued up because it sounds like you want to crown him right now. My friend, there's 12 games into the season. Okay, there's still 5 games left to go. But no, and I did
who we thought they were.
That's right, and you let him off the hook. No, but look, I think I said that after I can't remember which injury it was, maybe Fred Warner or Nick Bosa, and they've continued to get banged up and they continue to win. So you got to tip your cap to them. And Kyle Shanahan is a heck of a coach, and he's gotten those guys ready to play, much like the Seahawks, dealing with a number of injuries. That their injuries just happen to be to their star players, and in many cases they've been season-ending. So, look, I still, if I'm them, I still wonder about Christian McCaffrey's ability to hold up over 17 games. And as we saw again in that game, and we've seen this season, he is such a massive, massive part of their offense. And
he's so good.
Yeah, and after dealing with, I think it was the Achilles injury last year, at his age, that was part of my thinking is, can this guy really hold up considering how much of a focal point he is of the offense, how much he touches the ball, the wear and tear that is there. But to his credit and their credit, they've done it and they're still winning. And this is, I don't know how you could not say that this is the best division in football. They've got 3 teams with at least 8 wins. There's no other team in the NFL like that. I mean, AFC East has 10 and 7 win teams, but no other team has 3 teams that have at least 8 wins. NFC North might be the only other division in that conversation, but I think top to bottom, it's the NFC West.
Put some respect on Salah's name as well, and Coach K. Okay, if you're going to talk about Shanahan, why don't you talk about a defense that's weathered the injuries to Bosa and Williams, their first-round pick, Fred Warner, a ton of injuries there, and kind of like the Seahawks, give them credit. I think all 3 of these teams, Brady, as you look all around the NFL. Right, and this is back to the great Mike Mayock last year before the draft, saying there's like 25 organizations that have true alignment, and give yourself a chance each and every year, to make a run at the Super Bowl. And I think in San Fran, Seattle, and obviously in LA, all of those organizations, owner, GM, head coach, stability, right? Maybe there's been some changes and otherwise to the coach, and obviously Mike Macdonald after the big run, but great alignment here. Great alignment with Les Snead and Sean McVay and Kroenke in L.A., and same thing with Lynch and the ownership in San Francisco with Shanahan.
Yeah, and
alignment matters.
It does, yep. And that is that point is one reason why I wonder if Robert Saleh is going to get another look at a head coach, because, it did not work out in New York, but that's a situation where I don't think it's going to work out with a lot of people, just considering not only the quarterback situation that they've had to deal with, but the ownership situation and, how much of, frankly, a mess that is there. So, it would not surprise me if Robert Saleh is right back in the conversation in the coaching carousel.
Well, 2 other national voices weighed in on that of being the best division in all of football, and in particular, Mr. Eisen talking about one team that sits atop this division that he feels is the best in all the NFL.
The Rams are the team to beat through 12 weeks. Period. End of story. And one thing that I think they would love to do, is to win another one, obviously. To win another one with Stafford, obviously. To win another one with Stafford as an MVP quarterback, obviously. But at the end of the day, to win one in the home of the San Francisco 49ers.
Because that Super Bowl 60 will be in Santa Clara. Lisa Salters was there last night, part of the NFL Monday Night Football crew with ESPN. And, well, she talked about these 49ers also right there with the Rams, feeling like they are poised to make a run.
This is a 49ers team that believes it's poised to make a run right now because their offense is finally getting healthy, and the scheduling gods have been kind in terms of what they've got left in front of them. San Francisco has the 3rd easiest remaining schedule in the league, and 4 of their final 6 regular season games are right here at home. So ESPN Analytics gives them a 90% chance of making the playoffs.
And just think, if they had Bosa and they had Fred Warner and they had Williams and they had those guys. I will say this, though, watching the game, I don't know how much you got to see of that last night. Purdy throws 3 picks in the first half.
Yeah.
And they're bad. Like, man, that guy's arm is so limited. And watching Bryce Young on the other side, he is so small. He has to be, to the eye, like the smallest quarterback I've seen in the NFL. Russell was 5'10" and 5'8",
but sturdy. Yeah,
but sturdy, like in huge hands and like just a big dude. That ball looked like it just looked huge in Bryce Young's hand. Like he just is so itty bitty little, as is Brock. Pretty sturdier. He's more in that Russell kind of thick. But both of those guys, man, did they struggle to do anything in the passing game last night.
Yeah, what'd you think of those interceptions? I unfortunately did not get to watch the game. I was on a wide body, huge airplane that somehow did not have live TV. So that was my punishment for missing my flight. Plural.
Yeah, they were all bad, man. And pushing the ball down the field is not a strength. And the stats speak to that so very clearly. He just does not have a lot of RPMs. Like he stepped up. Speaking of, he should have ran. He had Kittle right in his view. And he's just like, nope, I'm going to try to rip this thing 30 yards down the field. He can't. Like he just physically is like the equivalent of a 88, 89 mile an hour fastball pitcher in baseball. You better have command. You better hit the corners. You better play from ahead and pitch from ahead because you fall behind or you've got to push it down the field. There is just not a lot of capability of doing so. But what a division, what a response by those guys, by Coach K, by Saleh, by Shanahan. The Rams are the number one seed right now. I think they're everybody's number one in the power rankings. They are real. And these Seahawks, as we've said, the best team that we've seen in a decade around here. I'd co-sign on that from your perspective as well. So lots of fun football going to be down the stretch here when it really matters, late November into December. DJ will address all of that. Daniel Jeremiah is going to join us in 20 minutes as he does every Tuesday at 8:30. So we'll have a blast with DJ talking through all of that. And I think for the first time, I got a little different comp for JSN. I don't think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think it's a different kind of receiver. We'll get DJ's perspective on that after everything you need to know next. Brady in for Salk, Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer, and this year Seattle Sports is hosting Mariners Thanksgiving.
How about that?
1 hour of every show is dedicated to the Mariners all day tomorrow.
And they got it! Wow!
9 to 10 a.m. with Brock and Salk, featuring Mariners GM Justin Hollander. 11 to noon with Bump and Stacy, featuring President of Baseball Jerry DiPoto. And 4 to 5, Mariners manager Dan Wilson joins Wyman and Bob. It's Mariners Thanksgiving with the 2025 AL West champion Mariners and Seattle Sports.
I told Titus and I last night, homemade mac and cheese. She's got a new recipe to try. I am sure many of you are getting ready for Thursday and Thanksgiving and football and turkey and all that comes with the holidays. And then, well, Christmas is right around the corner. So do you or somebody on your wish list want the gift of fitness this season? Brock Hewitt here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is going on now, like right now. You don't have to wait for Friday. You could save up to $1,000 today on Inspired gyms, treadmills, and True treadmills. Plus, get free delivery and assembly on Precourt treadmills, ellipticals, and their bikes. You can also save up to 50% on last year's display models. But you better hurry and get to the store to take advantage of that. You're also going to see Olympic weight bars starting at $50. And if someone on your wish list wants to get to fitness, how about 50% off the home gym attachments and accessories? They start at just $10. What a great stocking stuffer. No secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or go to topfitness.com for all the details on that Black Friday sales event going on now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
The best time of the year is here. Toyota-thon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyota-thon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyota-thon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, up first is a little bit of acronyms around the Seahawks facility. Have you realized that, Brady?
Yeah.
The mob ties, right? The mission over BS, and Allison Williams spoke to that on the national broadcast on Sunday, which was kind of fun. And then I have heard Mike Macdonald talk about this term eat, and since it's Thanksgiving holiday and a lot of us are going to do a bunch of that on Thursday and eat a whole bunch of calories, my mind was like, I think that's more than just like, we got to eat, what you hear players do, and you see players like, feed me, I want to eat. So I did follow up and ask Coach, is that an acronym as well? And here was Coach Macdonald with us yesterday.
I mean, it all started with, effort, ankles, and tackling, and then we moved it to offense, and then we actually, CP is really the guy, Chris Parcher's really the guy who came up with it, and we actually came up this week, we're like, hey, what does the A stand for? And CP's like, I don't even remember. It's just a way, it's just a way of life, it's just how we operate. So it's really just our kind of, our just rallying cry of how we want to finish plays as a team, and having respect for the game that like the hidden yardage stuff matters. How you finish plays on the sideline, how you finish tackles, how you finish on the right angles of blocks and where the ball is, and how you split double teams, all those things, that adds up. There's a huge difference in our league between 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. It's a huge difference. So, we understand that those things add up over the course of a game.
Brady, I have felt maybe the last month, and I don't know if it's winning. It probably is, and they've been playing great football. But I have felt Mike Macdonald just continuing to grow.
Mm-hmm.
He said to Mike and I, right, during our preseason interview there at training camp of, really learning to be a CEO, right, and what that means, and not just a defensive coordinator calling a great game, which he did even last year and handled the in-game stuff beautifully, but just kind of managing all the relationships, managing your coaches, managing your players. Leonard has talked about that this year of just being more, of a people coach and a guy coach and understanding it. And I thought once again yesterday, whether it was that answer or a bunch of others, you do feel his comfort in his own skin as the CEO and head coach of the Seahawks.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed over the years, Brock, is that the smartest people that or that you come across, they never make any attempt to show you how smart they are. In fact, there's a curiosity and there's a willingness to acknowledge that they don't have all the answers. And I think you hear that with Macdonald. I mean, he talks about how he continues to learn things. I mean, he for example, he talks about how he's learning about sort of the injury process and how that works and the flow of information and how sometimes it's not really clear cut. But the point is, he always says like, yeah, I'm continuing to learn more and more about this. And it's just I think it's kind of it's refreshing to hear a guy who, even in that position where the entire organization is looking at you, you don't have to pretend like you got all the answers. And the fact is, when you are a first-time head coach, I mean, he's obviously in his second year, but this is his first time at it. He's you're going to have to learn a lot on the fly, and he's doing that. And I just continue to be impressed by how the in-game decision-making is. And I think they lost a challenge in that game, but you just don't see a lot of like play clock management blunders. And this is a guy who he's managing the game and he's calling defensive plays. And so I just continue to be very impressed by everything that Macdonald's doing.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
We had Kevin Seifert on. He is Brady's peer at ESPN that covers the Vikings. I didn't ask him this question in particular or play this sound for him, but he went into great detail about JJ and some of his struggles and the offensive struggles and the backup that could play on Sunday and Max Brosmer. This was Dan Graziano from ESPN talking about the problematic quarterback position for the Vikes.
No, it's not an overreaction. At the very least, I would expect the Vikings to bring in some sort of veteran competition for J.J. McCarthy next year, much like the Indianapolis Colts did this past offseason, bringing in Daniel Jones to compete with their former first-round pick, Anthony Richardson. And we all know how that turned out with Jones winning the job. McCarthy's been worse than they could have possibly expected him to be. It's only a 6-game sample, but we have a stat called EPA, expected points added. He has a minus 0.24 EPA per dropback. That is by far the worst in the league. Dylan Gabriel's next worst, minus 0.14. That means every time he drops back, he's costing his team a quarter of a point. Over the course of a game, that's 7.5 points. That is not okay. They need to figure out how to get it better, and if that means going with somebody else next year while he continues to learn, then I think that's what they'll probably do.
I appreciated Mr. Seifert's analysis to take that a step further, and it's the anticipatory skills. It may be Sam's greatest strength, and sometimes his greatest burden is just, hitting that back foot and letting it rip and throw, and it led to a couple interceptions in that Rams game, but he plays with tremendous anticipation. JJ does not. And it's why he's late. It's why he's sacked 5 times in the game, why he's been knocked out now possibly twice already this season. A high ankle earlier, concussion is in protocol now, maybe out on Sunday, Brady. But, yeah, man, the fact they've not had a homegrown, developed, drafted quarterback since Fran Tarkenton in Minnesota, shocking.
Yeah, this was a 14-3 team last year with Sam Darnold at quarterback, and obviously, struggled down the stretch there, but they won 14 games in the regular season.
That added to their O-line. That spent money on a guard that everybody wanted here in Seattle and a center, that added to the group and kept everybody largely defensively.
Yeah, and now they're 4-7, and I'm sure that their problems go beyond J.J. McCarthy. I mean, I'm sure they got other issues, just like every other team has some issues, but that's a 4-7 team after going 14-3 last year. And, you got to wonder what the rest of the locker room thinks, and I read Kevin's story, and it sounds like, guys are publicly supporting JJ, but you got to wonder what Jefferson and Addison are thinking.
Their defense is still ranked 11.
Yeah.
Has Will Fries been good, Brock?
I don't know if you know.
I think the whole offensive operation's been on the struggle bus, Mr. Lau.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, I'm going to rip up my need to know. I'm going to rip up this sheet, what's on here. Not doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Look at that right there. I'm ripping it up.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about right now in the third need to know?
What's that?
High school football.
Oh, boy.
Because your Fighting Irish play the Bellevue Wolverines. O'Day, Bellevue, Eastside Catholic, Mount Tahoma, Puyallup, Sumner, Graham, Kapowison, Lake Stevens. And I apologize to the 2A and underneath. I should know all of those. But 3A and 4A, it is going to be a battle royale this weekend. I hear from some, this may be the best O'Day D-line in the history of the state. Can you believe it, Brady?
I believe it. Yeah. Now
I hear from some, this is the greatest Puyallup Viking football team in state history. Move over 87, Billy Joe Holbert, Steve Wolf, Tom Gallagher. Because here comes Lawson Looker in the 2025 Vikings that haven't even smelled a contest. Oh, Sumner. Oh, what a battle. First time around, I believe it was 56-14. A rematch in the state semifinals this weekend. What do you think?
Well, I can tell you that this O'Day football team, not that I've watched a ton of them this year, but I can tell you that they're better than the 2004 O'Day football team, which lost in the state championship game to Bellevue. And the only reason I say that is because this team does not have me on that roster dragging them down.
What were you? What position?
I was.
That's everything you need to know, by the way. Everything you need to know.
Yeah, you
were
under the impression that I was a defensive tackle. Is that what you said in the
No.
Do I look?
No. What were you? Quick guard?
I was the rare outside linebacker wide receiver combo. You don't get too many of those.
No, but Monte Kohler's system, tough, built on toughness. So it's going to be an unbelievable weekend. Also going to be a great day tomorrow. You can join us throughout the day tomorrow for our Mariners Thanksgiving special. We are dedicating an hour of each and every show to celebrating the 25 AL West champs. Previewing the 26 campaign as well. Interviews with Jerry DePoto, Justin Hollander, Dan Wilson, as well as broadcasters and executives. And if you miss anything, you can find all of it on our YouTube page or via the Seattle Sports app. That's coming at you in the 9 a.m. hour tomorrow. Mr. Martinez, Mr. Hollander, Mr. Goldsmith, going to be a blast as we will do that tomorrow. Left go in for Salky tomorrow, and then Thanksgiving for all of us. But you know what? Daniel Jeremiah is in on Thanksgiving week. Joel Klatt tomorrow, he's in on Thanksgiving week. Brady Henderson, he's in on Thanksgiving week. The Daniel Jeremiah show coming up from my buddies over at Marquee Data. That will come up next right here on Seattle Sports.
JSN's a superstar.
Wyman and Bob.
JSN is a star. 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Every afternoon at 2.
He plays a little game with the acceleration. He'll choke it down a little bit, and the DB can only react to him. Then, at some point, he accelerates. And so that's where he gets just that little, what he's doing, Bob, is he's chasing edges.
That's what that means.
That's exactly what that means.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. As you start thinking about the future and start thinking about maybe even getting to retire one day, you can't just start now. So if you need help thinking about retirement and getting ready to make sure you do it on time, start with Trajan Wealth. If you have an old 401k with a previous employer, did you know that could create a higher investment cost? Yeah, if you got an old 401k and you're not sure what to do with it, that's a great first step to call Trajan Wealth and discuss how to optimize those funds and get that money working for you. Again, 206-466-3300 is the phone number, 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth, the core philosophies include low expenses, manager tenure, tax efficiency, just a couple key qualities that differentiate a Trajan Wealth portfolio from all the competitors. Call them today and schedule a free complimentary introductory meeting and just learn more. 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at bellevuecollection.com/dining district.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Tico's Painting reminds listeners the holidays are meant to be a time of good cheer and warm gatherings with family and friends. Don't spoil the spirit of the season by getting behind the wheel after drinking. Always designate a sober driver or take a ride share for a safe ride home. Let's work together to keep our roadways safe and accident-free this holiday season. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Tico's Painting. Family owned and providing high quality commercial and residential painting on the east side. Online at ticospainting.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
He's Daniel Jeremiah.
I think he's really, really good.
And he's with Brock and Salk every week during the NFL season.
He could win an MVP.
Daniel's really smart. Daniel's probably the best in the business.
It's time for the Daniel Jeremiah Show, presented by Marquee Data.
Well, he is really smart. We love him each and every Tuesday with us. We had to move him around a little bit during the baseball season because of the incredible run the Mariners went on. And tomorrow we will celebrate those Mariners with many of their brass in the building, which will be a blast. But if you're so smart, and Marquee Data sponsors this segment, Daniel, because you're so smart, then why in the world would you wait till Tuesday of Thanksgiving week to make your Costco run?
No, it's going down today. I'm let me just see. Hold on a second. This is probably before I go. I'll probably take a couple of those, couple Tums, just because it can be a little unsettling as you get out there. But the thing is, how do you go earlier? Because if you got to get some pies, like those aren't going to be fresh.
Yeah.
If you go earlier than this, so it's better than tomorrow at least. So it's not quite as bad as it'll be tomorrow.
Jeremiah's a minivan family. Were you guys a minivan family?
We were for 20 years, but we moved out of that for my wife's 50th birthday. She graduated from the minivan, so that was we had a nice run, nice long run.
How about growing up? Was the Jeremiah family? Because the Heward family, let me tell you, man, Grandma Peg loved her Dodge Chrysler. I think we ended with the Honda, the iteration as well. Like Grandma Peg loved that, and that was even before the day and age where you could push the button and open all the doors. I mean, we were in a good spot because we had the conversion van growing up. So we had the seats that you could swivel them. You could put for the cross country drive, because God knows we're not flying on vacation to Indiana. We're going to make the drive from San Diego to Fort Wayne, Indiana. So you had the little table. You could put the little table so you could play Uno with your siblings on there. We had one of the first TVs, which had like a little hole, and it was about, I don't know, like a 4-inch TV that you would record movies off of TV for like the whole month before you were going on vacation, because we had to make sure we had like Top Gun on there. We had the Rocky movies on there with commercials. You'd have to fast forward. Oh yeah, that was vacation for us growing up. Yeah,
hey, Niagara Falls. You guys want to go to Niagara Falls? Yeah, it's great. Okay, we're gonna drive. We're gonna start that drive in 2 weeks.
That was Grandpa Mike too, man. That was a Heward family. Drove to Omaha, drove to the Rose Bowls. My first time, DJ, true story, man. My first time on a plane was my first recruiting trip my senior year of high school. That was the first time I was on a plane. That was it. So there you go. A little family history, a little Thanksgiving.
Can you? Well, first of all, if you're listening right now, imagine taking these kids with their attention spans and saying we're going to make a 3 or 4 day drive across the country. How that would go.
Right. Not so well in this day and age, but we persevered. Yeah. I could tell a whole bunch of stories. We could do a whole podcast on those travels. Maybe we'll do that down the road. But people want to hear from you, DJ. They want to hear about what your eyes saw when you studied that all 22 tape of the Seahawks and Titans on Sunday. What'd you see?
Well, I'll start offensively. I thought Sam played well. I thought he played fast. There's some big time throws at JSN, on the move, pushing the ball vertically down the field. I thought he was quick to get to check downs. For the most part, outside of maybe 2 throws, one where he tried to squeeze one in the red zone. Another one that he got hit and the ball fluttered. I didn't think he put the ball in harm's way outside of those 2 throws. So I thought Sam played really well. I thought offensively they did a good job getting up to the second level in the run game. 76 was excellent in the run game, getting up to the second level. Did some nice things there. 88 blocks his tail off. I like seeing what he was doing in the run game there. I thought both backs ran hard, ran with vision. So I thought offensively they did some really good things, and I thought they were in a good spot there defensively. Up front they were good, and they got a lot of different pressure. 99. I mean, I'm going through my notes on 99. It's like quick club, beats double, vision and feel as a rusher, sack, and then I don't even know what this one was, but I just wrote animal in all caps. So I'm still all in on Leonard Williams and what he's doing. The only thing that defensively, I just thought their zones, they were a little bit loose in some zone coverage, and I thought they picked on Job a few times in the pass game, but that was about it. And, by the way, Cam Ward, that's one of the best throws I think I've ever seen in my life. The one where he's running out of bounds and just jumps up in the air, a jump pass, and gets it all the way across the middle of the field late in that ball game. So give him some credit for making a couple plays late. But outside of them just being a little loose in some zone coverages, I thought overall good job by the defense as well.
DJ, Brady Henderson here. Good to talk to you again. Let's dive in a little bit more to Darnold's day. And I remember after that 4-interception performance against the Rams last week, Mike Macdonald was asked, what do you tell Sam after a performance like this? And he said, keep ripping it. And it seemed like Darnold was still ripping it in that game. And if you thought that he might kind of get conservative after that 4-interception game against the Rams, I didn't really see that. What did you see in that regard?
Yeah, I think that's fair. He let it rip, but I also thought he kind of eased his way into the game too, where he took some layups and some checkdowns, getting the ball to the backs, just kind of getting the flow and the rhythm of the game. And then you started seeing him kind of rip some balls in some tighter windows. But I thought it was a good balance. I use the phrase selectively aggressive, like, hey, when you get your shots, take them, but don't be reckless. And I thought he did a really good job. I don't think he got, sometimes Sam can get right on that line and kind of sometimes fall over, but be right up to it. I thought in this game, he wasn't as close to the line. There were maybe 5 throws, some tight window throws where he threw with conviction and confidence. But the rest of the game, I thought he was just, hey, they're going to give me these backs underneath. They're going to give me these tight ends in the flat. I'll take them.
DJ, I feel like with you each and every week, it's nearing the each and every week with Jeff Passan question. Salk and I would try to reframe a question to Jeff about Cal Raleigh's year. How can you put it into words? How can you add context? How can you explain what Cal Raleigh's doing? It's never been done in the sport before as a catcher with all the power and all the home runs. I feel like we're kind of getting there each and every week with Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is silly stuff. He broke the Seahawks single season yardage record held by DK. That he did that in week 11 of this year. He's got more explosive plays down the field than anybody. He's got almost 300 more receiving yards than anybody in the league. Pickens the only one close over 1,000. How is Jackson Smith and Jigba doing this?
Well, it's interesting kind of talking about passing. I would use a little bit of a baseball analogy. You can play your defense, play your no doubles defense. You can try and, hug the line. You play deep on guys. You can, used to be able to put the shift on and do those things. Like, no matter what you do, you're wrong against him because he's beating you every way. No matter where he lines up, you have to account for everything because he's going to get vertical from outside. He can get vertical from the slot. He can beat you, off his release, off the line of scrimmage and win right now, put a slant on his chest and let him run with it. I love these, these boot throwbacks that they're doing where it's, everything you've been taught your whole life is when a quarterback boots, you kind of know where the receiver's going. And all of a sudden now you got these wind back routes. So they're making you defend everything no matter where he's lined up. And I don't know what you're supposed to do. If you're going to try and help over the top, he's going to eat you up in those up and down throws in the middle of the field. So it's a really complete performance by him. And the other thing is, and I'm a Sam guy, but you don't have receiving numbers like this without a quarterback playing at a pretty high level too. And Sam's put some balls right on him, and sometimes where there wasn't as much separation, it's just a fantastic throw as well. So he's been the best receiver in the NFL. His quarterback's playing pretty well too.
Yeah, well, speaking of separation, he got just enough of it on that first touchdown, that long touchdown, when right as the ball's arriving, just a subtle enough nudge to not get called, but still get some extra space there. Now, I'm curious, Brock and I were talking about this before the show. What, maybe you've said this on the show, and if I missed it, I apologize, but what was your comp for him coming out of JSN in terms of other receivers in the NFL? And is there anybody else who, as the more you see him in the NFL, anybody else that he remind you of?
Yeah, we had talked about it before of Amon-Ra St. Brown, was the comp just because of the strength and someone who was smart and tough and you thought would, be an elite slot receiver. And then he's grown to be, more than that in terms of how his usage, is in this offense playing outside. He can win easy, trying to think of other guys, historically that he would remind you of. It's hard. He's just he's a unique skill set in terms of the strength and the physicality that he has. I don't think people would see this initially just because of how dynamic and explosive Jamar Chase is, but there is some similarities there just in terms of their lower body strength and just their short area quickness. I think there's some similarities there. If they were just going to have a flat out race, Jamar Chase would beat him. But he's playing at that type of a level.
It's interesting, DJ. I was just looking at his. You're gonna have to pull your binders out. You got your binders. I know you got your recipes for Thanksgiving and your to-dos, but you got your binders handy because Jackson coming out was at the combine 6'1", 196. It's weird when you look at him. He doesn't look 6'1" because I think he's so thick and strong in his lower. Yep. Yes. I actually, and it's not a great comp because I didn't realize that Jackson's all of 6'1". Steve Smith was only 5'9", the old receiver coming out. That's what I'm feeling. Like those years when Steve Smith and he was even smaller, but he was so freaking strong and created his own space and so explosive. And he had a 1,500-yard year and a 1,400-yard year, and at his height, he was as good as anybody in the league. We seeing some kind of Steve Smith explosion from JSN this year as well?
Yeah, that's fair. I think Steve, I think, was 5'9"-ish, a little, maybe 5'10".
He was. Yeah, he was much smaller. Yeah.
Jackson, 6'005", 196. So he was just under 6'1", 196 pounds. He ran 4.52. Just pulling back up my notes on him. We've done this before, but just looking at it, inside, outside, really strong lower. He can win with quicks and strength at the line of scrimmage. Loves to work in the mud in the middle of the field. I said his full speed is greater than his top speed. Like he gets to full speed immediately, you know. So that was kind of his, you know, one of the strengths of his. So I'd be curious if I could go back. Steve, I was scouting then, but I did not write up Steve when he was coming out of Utah. But to me, I would guess that Steve would have had some more dynamic, explosive numbers in terms of the testing. But in terms of play style and short area quickness and burst and strength, I definitely think there's something there.
Hey, Brady asked you about some of the tape, and Sam as well, to get back to that. I don't think I've asked you that this year. Now we've got enough body of work. We're 11 games into this thing with Mike having this clay to mold and Clint Kubiak now 11 games in. Just from a schematic standpoint, DJ, how creative are they compared to a lot of the other tape you watch? Just in scheme with both defense, both offensively and defensively. Do you feel like, these guys are kind of tip of the spear with McVay and maybe Shanahan? Not to put words in your mouth, but both offensively and defensively, how creative are their schemes?
I think they're in a good sweet spot, man. I think they're in a sweet spot of making things look similarly offensively, with some wrinkles that they'll throw in there on a weekly basis, but not getting carried away of cuteness. I think Miami's kind of the definition of that. There's times where it's like, oh man, look at how that's just, that's really creative. They got in the lab and came up with this. And there's other games you're like, okay, that's a little too much sauce. Like, let's try and be a little more boring, so to speak, at times is necessary. I think they found a really nice balance there offensively. The biggest thing is everything looks the same. And then just you have different looks and wrinkles off of those looks. So I love what they're doing there. And then defensively, they've got different groupings that they've used. To me, the creativity is really with Eamon. It's just, how you want to deploy him and how you want to use him. He's their creative chess piece that they have to play with. But no, I think I would say, more sound would be the term I would use for them defensively to me, I'd prefer that. I don't know that they're trying to trick them. They're out there playing really, really sound, solid football.
DJ, I'm fascinated to see what kind of opportunities Clint Kubiak might have in terms of some of these head coach openings around the league. On one hand, he seems like the exact kind of coach with the resume. He's the coordinator of one of the best offenses in the NFL. He's a young guy with, strong ties to that Shanahan tree. He's also very low-key personality-wise, and I just wonder how that's going to play in interviews with, GMs and owners. What do you think of his chances to land one of these head coach openings?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've never even heard him speak. Now that I think of it, I've never met him, and it's a small league, so I know guys who've worked with him who rave about him and love him. And the resume on paper is really, really good, and it doesn't hurt to come from the family he came from either. It's been kind of the family business. So that's what, you've got a team with a young quarterback, a talented quarterback, and you want to put him around a coach that knows how to coach offense and develop him. I think when you look at, what Ben Johnson's done and how that's transformed in Chicago, that's going to embolden people to want to go that route. And we'll see what happens with these other openings, what all opens up. But right now you've got, Tennessee Titans with the number 1 overall pick quarterback and Cam Ward. You've got the New York Giants with a, kind of a jewel there and Jackson Dart. He would make a lot of sense there. And sometimes with these guys, I remember when Ben Johnson, believe it or not, you see all these videos now after games and in the locker room, and you hear guys say, like, younger in his career, that was hey, is this guy just kind of more of a bookworm play caller? Does he have the front facing personality for the room? And it's like, well, he sure as heck has grown into that over the years with the way you see him in the locker room. So, I mean, I think he'd be able to find his voice if he doesn't have it already, but it is kind of funny that like, I couldn't even tell you. I've never heard him speak.
Yeah. Very Southern, very, very Gary, very quiet, very
nice.
Yeah, and that's a good point, is that his dad was also a very low key personality, and he won a Super Bowl.
Exactly. Hey, you got to see these Vikings about a month ago. The Chargers absolutely dismantled them. It was not JJ. He was still banged up at that point. It was Carson, and then it was Max Brosmer, who they're talking about maybe getting the start as JJ's now in concussion protocol. What in the heck happened to the Minnesota 14-win a season ago Minnesota Vikings?
Well, he's living in Seattle right now. That's what happened to their offense. I just, to me, I never understood that. I never stood the poo-pooing of Sam there and, focusing so much on the two eggs at the end of the year as opposed to all the good stuff that he did throughout the year. But JJ McCarthy is not, I mean, he's young. I think he's still 22, 23 years old. You got to be patient there. But I mean, this team was ready to go, ready to win right now, and he's not there yet. So he needs to play more football. He needs to get more experience. It's just hard to do that on a team that's ready to go. And the quarterback issue has plagued them. So I don't think it's very complicated. I can try and give you a more.
Well, you got your binder for Max Brosmer. Can you get your binder?
You want him?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I was telling Brady, and we had Seifert on last hour. He covers the Vikings. I actually had Mad Max's first game as a Gopher after 5 years in New Hampshire. He was up there in New Hampshire. He was throwing it around, and he went to the Gopherville, and you would have thought he was the second coming of Tom Brady, that he was his son. They were so excited for him to play the smartest guy that PJ Fleck has ever seen in his life. This guy talks ball. He lives ball. And he did some good things, and I'm not diminishing him at all. He goes undrafted. I think he lands in a pretty good spot for him with the high football IQ that he has. What's your little binder say about Max?
First of all, my mom's from New Hampshire, and my uncle growing up, I remember always answering the phone, and it was my Uncle Sherm. And he would go, "Hey, Dan, is your mom there?" Yep. Hold on 1 minute. It just gave me a real flashback there on that one. Sorry about that. All right. So Brosmer, he was just under 6'2", 217 pounds. He ran 4.79, so decent athlete there. But 23-year-old New Hampshire transfer in the gun under center. I thought he was more of a touch thrower, a timing thrower, relying on accuracy, touch, and timing, competitive runner. Didn't think he had great pocket feel. Guys were able to get around him. And I just didn't think there was a ton of twitch, like not a lot of twitch in his arm and legs, but someone who saw the field well, was accurate in a touch thrower. So not going to overwhelm him with the physical stuff.
Yeah. And he would be probably challenged in this environment if the Seahawks pressured. And I don't know how real this can possibly be. PFF has the Seahawks last week getting pressure on Cam Ward 40 times. Out of 42 passing attempts, he scrambled 6 other times. So out of 48 attempts, 40 pressures. What will that do to either JJ or Max? And can they do the same to that Minnesota O-line that they did to Tennessee?
They can, but I would think that this is going to be a heavy screen game, quick game. Again, like to me, the vision with him is kind of his best strength. So I think it's getting a lot of guys in the route and telling him to get the ball the heck out of your hand as fast as possible. So to me, this is more so than a pass rush game. It's just a tackling game. I think the ball is going to be in front of you the whole game. I don't know how much vertical element there's going to be. So it's just going to be, hey, let's just rally and tackle.
Mm-hmm. Hey, DJ, Rick Woolen has played better over the last, I would say, month or so, and there was conversation about whether or not he could be on the trade block in Seattle, and for whatever reason, he really seems to have stepped his game up. He still, to me, looks like kind of a classic guy who gets to free agency and gets a lot of money, right, because he's super talented, but the reason he gets to free agency in the first place is because there's a lot of inconsistency there. What do you think about just the way he's playing and maybe his fit in this defense in particular?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get paid because of traits. Like, if nothing else, even if he just played awful, someone's going to take a chance on that just because the traits are so rare. But I think he's playing more competitive. I think there's a more physical edge to the way he's playing, and that's not just talking about in tackling or run game or what have you. It's just being stronger and firmer at the catch point. down the field, a little stickier, a little more competitive. So, and I even like after they make plays, like you see him celebrating a little bit. It's like he's got a little bit of his confidence, and not a huge fan of the word, but has a little bit of the swagger, back to him a little bit, which is a corner I think is definitely necessary. So that's been a great sight to see. Now I didn't think that Job had his best game, so hopefully he can kind of get back on track, and then they'll be humming and then kind of clean some things up, tighten some things up there. But yeah, he has been much better.
Heard from my friends at Marquee Data here. They kind of want to know. They're a little concerned that, you're going to do the Costco mayhem, but they believe in you, DJ. They believe you're going to figure it out. They also want to know how calculating you are with the Thanksgiving preparation. Like, what are we looking at? Is this a team, you and your wife? Do you have family coming in? Do you have Uncle Sherm from New Hampshire flying in? Like, what exactly are we looking at Thursday?
So we're hosting this year with my wife's family. So, but not everybody's. It's not everybody. My wife, they have 6 kids in her family, so we don't have the whole crew coming. So I think we have 2 or 3 of her siblings and some kids coming. So they'll all bring some food as well. I don't cook. I don't know how to cook, but I can grade cheese. Like it is if there is an Olympics for cheese grading, I can do it. It's something twitchy.
Twitchy with the grader.
Oh yeah. Just a lot of quick twitch movement there. Get the right size bowl. I mean, it's something I take a lot of pride in.
Decisiveness. Would you say you're decisive with the?
Yeah. And you know what? Okay. But also being safe. We don't need to nick a finger here. Let's be safe. Be quick, but not in a hurry, as I like to say when I'm grading cheese.
Sure, for sure. How about the carving of the turkey?
Yeah, that's not happening. That was my dad. Like, I haven't reached that level of adulthood. I can remember my mom. We'd be sitting there watching football, and then there's always such a disappointed look on my dad's face, because she'd be like, "All right, the turkey, Dave, the turkey's done," and he's like, "Oh man, I gotta go carve this dang turkey," and just like got to get away from the football, go into the kitchen. It wasn't like those open house plans that we have now in all these houses. Like, the kitchen might as well have been another country. You can't see anything from in there. You're cut off from the world. That was my memories of the carving of the turkey as a kid. But now it's like, give me a honey baked ham. I'm good.
I remember the dads, maybe you had family friends too, that had the electric knife. Like, we got one of those one year. Yes.
It always broke. It was purchased for, it had one job on one day a year. And I definitely have memories of a kid of that thing being broke and just being like, well, back to the old school.
It was like the shears for the bushes outside, right? You had the electric knife, you could hear that thing going and something. Here we go. And just chaos.
You know what the other thing is? The other thing is of people of our age is, it was a staple at like the Thanksgiving meals was like Jell-O. And I'm like, I don't remember the last time did they even sell Jell-O anymore? Right. I mean, Jell-O with the fruit inside of the Jell-O.
RFK Jr. banned that.
Whipped cream on top. Colors, that was a go-to back in the day.
Oh, so many memories, DJ. So much shared. You and I, have so much shared history in so many ways with family and travels and football and fun and all of it. And Thanksgiving is so much fun with so much great football to watch this weekend. And y'all got the Raiders to get back on track. Poor Pete, that thing's a disaster there.
Wow.
You love this. Yeah, just a disaster. I didn't realize, I saw Chip Kelly's $6 million salary. How about 3 years and $18 million? Holy!
How about that Ohio State team winning the national championship? Jim Knowles leaves to go to Penn State. Chip Kelly leaves to go to the Raiders. Yikes!
Yeah, not good. Not good. Not good being so late too. I'm always late. That's what happens when I have to host the show, and we have so much fun with you, DJ. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll look forward to doing this next week. Always appreciate this time, my man.
See you guys. Look forward to seeing Salk in a month when he's back.
Yep, there he goes. There goes Daniel Jeremiah on his way to Costco with the Tums. The rest of it, we're way late. We got Who's Shoes coming up next. Brady in for Salk. It's Brock and Salk.
The one and only Mark Schlereth with Wyman and Bob.
A lot of us expected them to win by multiple touchdowns. Turned out to be a bit closer than I think anybody was comfortable with.
I thought the Seahawks dominated for the majority of 3 quarters, and I thought for the most part, Seahawks handled them. You gave them like I said, a cheap touchdown drive late in the game and all that stuff. I thought the Seahawks dominated from start to finish to continue to put the foot on the pedal, so to speak.
On Seattle Sports, on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
Oh, always fun with DJ. I think I could do like an hour podcast on growing up Jeremiah, growing up Heward.
Same age, right?
Parallel paths. Same age. Yeah, a lot of similar kind of friends, people we knew. And yeah, just his honeymoon was at the Four Seasons in Maui, as Molly and I was after getting drafted and all that sort of good stuff. By the way, you could be on the phone during the show. Adam Schefter does it when he's breaking news or he's got news. Like if you got to do your reporting job, feel free to just hop on your cell phone. You could do that.
No, I don't want to leave you hanging like that. But it was funny as you and DJ were talking about your electric knives. It occurred to me, I don't think I've ever lifted a finger on Thanksgiving. I've lived such a charmed life where I just show up and I eat, and I've never helped with prepping one single Thanksgiving meal. I show up and I guess the only thing I have to do is I'm expected to answer questions about the Seahawks. That's the only thing I got to do. I've lived a very
You don't have
charmed
to clean up
Thanksgiving
afterwards?
life.
You don't do any cleanup?
No.
Really?
It's not. My uncle typically hosts for Thanksgiving, and so I go downstairs and watch some football.
It's kind of like what I do on these days that I have to host. Maura does all the work. She lays out all the show sheet. I'm just supposed to stay on time, which I barely do. And now we're way late for the segment we call, Brady, Whose Shoes?
All right, we've got
how this one works?
So I'll get right into it.
Yeah, this is where you pick whose shoes you'd rather be in, right?
I just want to make sure. Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah. Buy or sell can be tough too, but whose shoes? Whose shoes?
All right, whose shoes? J.J. McCarthy against this Seahawks defense or Max Brosmer against this Seahawks defense?
I'm going to say Max
Brosmer.
Yeah, Max Brosmer. You know why? There's
no expectation.
No expectation. It's exactly
Holy
right.
smokes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You and I.
Like we wrote our own answers.
That's a mind meld right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no expectations. And you got to feel for J.J. McCarthy, man. Like it's in some ways it's not his fault that he's just not ready to play. And, you can second guess the decisions they made to go with him. I still think they could have franchise tagged Sam Darnold and bought themselves one more year. I think the problem is they didn't really know. Like they had J.J. McCarthy miss the whole season. They just didn't have an opportunity to really know where he was development-wise. And so, but back to this question, yeah, you go Max Brosmer. Look, both of those guys are in for it against a good Seahawks defense. It's a very favorable quarterback matchup for the Seahawks one way or another, but there's a lot lower expectations on Max Brosmer.
Yeah, get the ball out.
Undrafted
Get the ball out. Get the ball out.
Yeah.
Screens, quick game, get the ball out. Kevin O'Connell knows. Challenge, I think he's really good as a play caller and a QB developer, and it's going to take some time, and we'll see if there's enough time for JJ. That, unfortunately, it's the way it works in the league. Like, you're not ready to go after 1 year. You're not ready to go after, year two. He's going to be some questions next year of whether or not, if you're not ready to go, this game and these organizations move on.
It's the shoe. The shoe? It's gotta be the shoes.
All right, whose shoes? The Minnesota Vikings or the New York Jets watching Sam Darnold's success?
Ooh, I probably should have saved some of my last response for this one, but I would rather be. I'd rather be the Jets. And now, I say this because at least they are going to be so bad to where they could be in position to land a quarterback. Now, who knows if that quarterback is going to be in any better position to succeed than any of the other quarterbacks who have not succeeded there. But, the Vikings, I think they're in this position because they felt like they were pot committed to McCarthy. Now, you can question whether or not they actually were. We've seen teams draft guys that early. We saw it with Arizona. They drafted your guy, UCLA guy, Rosen, 10th overall. They drafted
Kyler
Murray first overall the next year. So I don't know if they actually truly were as pot committed as they seem to think they were. But
I'm not ever putting on any New York Jets shoes. Sorry, I'm not never doing that.
No.
Never picking those shoes. No. They're just a dysfunctional mess from top to bottom. So I'll say Minnesota. They're just because the team, the organization, I think there are a lot of pretty solid people there. And they, as you said, they just missed the bet right now. And you heard our buddy Daniel Jeremiah say it clear as could be. Like, what changed with Minnesota? Sam Darnold not being there. And you can ask Addison and Jefferson and all the rest of them what that guy meant to them.
Way more detailed responses than we're supposed
Sorry.
to.
Okay, here we go. Next. Who's shoes? Push.
All right, who's shoes? Brian Kelly's attorney going after LSU for, quote, interfering with potential job candidacies. Or Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's girlfriend's attorney, is trying to sue Pablo Torre for saying she was banned from the UNC facilities.
Yeah, I'm not putting on them co-ed cheerleading shoes of Jordan Hudson's and her attorney. No way, no how. I'll take BK's there.
Yeah, there's just way more upside in suing a school with millions of dollars in the bank. You're not going to get whatever you're going after from Pablo Torre. It's also, here's a little journalistic kind of lesson for you. It's very hard to prove libel. That's what she's saying he slandered her. Is that right? It's very hard to prove that in a court of law. So, yeah, Brian Kelly's got a lot better chance of getting some money out of his lawsuit.
Whose shoes, Maura? Brady Henderson's or Lyle Goldstein's for Thanksgiving as a consumers who do nothing? Whose shoes would you rather be in?
Well, Lyle said he at least cleans up, so I think Brady's got it better.
So
well, yeah. Now we are. My mother is hosting a small gathering for Thanksgiving, so I am not. I am going to actually help out. Probably not preparing, but more so with the cleaning. Yeah.
Gotcha. Good. Okay.
Here's an improv whose shoes. Brock having to talk about Jordan Hudson or Maura having to talk about Jordan Hudson?
We both get pretty creeped out pretty quickly.
It's
weird deal. That is a weird deal, man. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right, here's one. Whose shoes? Brock having to lead host a show or Salk having to sit in person right next to Mike Macdonald during one of his long pauses?
Brock does great hosting the show.
Not according to Brock himself.
Well, everybody's their own worst enemy.
A lot of stress. Yeah. Don't sleep the night before, Brady. A lot of stress. That had nothing to do with you. It's all me. Oh, poor Salky. Very few pauses the last 2 weeks, though.
Yeah.
Am I right? I mean, he's been on it. Fun. Laughing.
The most
good times.
decisive, quickly answered question you've ever given him was top 3 Thanksgiving foods.
Yeah, he was on it. All right, can we sneak one more in? Sneak one more in. I got to remind people, by the way, 866-979-3776. 866-979-3776. We end Tuesday's shows with Answer the Question Jerk. Brady loves it. Food, life, relationships, boating, whatever you want to do, missing flights, Nashville, 866-979-3776.
Yeah, we'll probably save the relationship questions. Yeah,
anything you want to do, 866-979-3776. Text it in. Got one more, Maura?
All right, still one more. Whose shoes in the long term, Drake May or Cam Ward?
Ooh, I'm going to say Drake May just because you're seeing him do it. But one of my takeaways from that game was that Cam Ward looks like he's got a chance to be a very good quarterback. And I think some of the Titans writers, I got the impression that they were a little bit surprised because I don't think he's played that well. He was one of the lowest rated passers in terms of QBR going into that game. But, man, you see there's a lot to work with there. And he looks like he's got some dog in him. He looks like a very just competitive, all ball, really matters to him kind of guy. There were some funky throws. Did you notice that where he sort of like sinks into it and doesn't really step into it? But there's a ton to work with there. I was impressed with him.
I'm going to say Drake May, though. Mike Vrabel, there's been enough time now, enough water under the bridge, enough failed quarterbacks. He's not the one following Tom Brady. And Joshy Boy is not going to get a head coaching job. He is a tremendous offensive coordinator. Vrabel, an excellent head coach. They got the most cap space, I believe, of anybody in the league heading into next year. Yeah, I think I would take the stability of that place and the people around Mr. May. Pretty good. Just like Brady's been all day today. I'm going to put Brady on a little bit of the hot seat. Before we answer questions to end the show, 866-979-3776. I asked Brady for, about half dozen different Seahawks to tell me something I don't already know. Give me a little something on half a dozen guys, some of them playing prominent roles, some of them not, but we'll learn a little bit more about our Seahawks with Brady at 9:30. After everything we need to know, coming up next, Brady in for Salk, Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer, and this year Seattle Sports is hosting Mariners Thanksgiving.
How about that?
1 hour of every show is dedicated to the Mariners all day tomorrow.
And they got it! Wow!
9 to 10 a.m. with Brock and Salk, featuring Mariners GM Justin Hollander. 11 to noon with Bump and Stacy, featuring President of Baseball Jerry DiPoto. And 4 to 5, Mariners manager Dan Wilson joins Wyman and Bob. It's Mariners Thanksgiving with the 2025 AL West champion Mariners and Seattle Sports.
Well, Thanksgiving is just now 2 days away, and whether it's talking about it with DJ or Brady or Lyle or Maura, all the fun we've had this week online as well. We also know right after Thanksgiving is Christmas. So do you or somebody on your wish list want the gift of fitness this holiday season? Brock Ewert here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is on now. You don't have to wait until Friday. You can take advantage of huge savings, like $1,000 on Inspire gyms, treadmills, and True treadmills. Plus, get free delivery and assembly on a Precourt treadmill, elliptical, or exercise bike. You can also save, this is a great deal, up to 50% on last year's display models. Olympic weight bars, they too are just $50, and home gym attachments and accessories, well, they're $50 off. And you want to talk about a stocking stuffer? They start at only $10. No secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. You can go see them in person, see those display models in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or find all the details to the Black Friday sales event going on right now at topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Dave Chappelle, live at Climate Pledge Arena December 9th, one night only. The comedy legend returns to Seattle. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't wait. Dave Chappelle, Climate Pledge Arena December 9th. Get your seats today.
Black Friday comfort sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomecomfortAlliance.com.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Husky Nation, the rivalry is on, but this time it's bigger than football. This holiday season, we're taking a fight from the field to the table with Rivalry for a Reason, a competition fundraiser between UW and Oregon fans to tackle food insecurity across the Northwest. Every dollar you donate counts as a vote, and votes are unlimited. So let's outgive the Ducks and show our Husky pride. 100% goes to households in need, thanks to Safeway and Northwest Harvest. Visit dogsvsducks.org today.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN Seattle Sports.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit PuyallupTribe-NSN.gov. That's PuyallupTribe-NSN.gov.
Hey friends, Stacy here. If you've been thinking about a new Ford, I've got great news for you. Family owned and operated Wayscar Ford in Auburn is having their 103rd annual year-end holiday sales event. I just love a holiday sale. This year, all new Fords are priced at only $1 over factory invoice. And that's on the whole Ford lineup. That's correct. Every new Ford is priced at only $1 over factory invoice. That's before any rebates, customer cash, or low APR financing. Plus, they all come with a lifetime powertrain warranty included at no additional cost. Pressed for time? No problem. They'll deliver the vehicle to you. And at Wayscar Ford, you'll never be pressured, so you can purchase with confidence. Because every single vehicle that Wayscar Ford sells comes with a full 5-day or 500-mile, 100% money-back guarantee. So if you change your mind for any reason, bring the vehicle back for a full 100% refund. The $1 over factory invoice sale is going on right now. Check it out at wayscarford.com.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafi from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, Brady, I think over the years, if you were to study the need to knows, if there was data on all the need to knows, and especially during the football season, how many times injuries in the injury report comes into play for, well, obviously fantasy football fans, for preparation, for all the line and the lines that move based on injuries and who's available, and coaches don't love to talk about it. And obviously Wednesday, the first day back of practice, we get a whole lot more scope of it. But this is a big one this week because Julian Love is coming off IR. Mike was saying that it's possible Ty Okada could go on IR. Jaron Reed comes off IR next week. There's just all sorts of timing possibilities. Macdonald asked about it in particular with the linebacker crew that's also been decimated by injuries. Here was his answer at the podium yesterday.
Yeah, hopeful for both. It looks like Tyrese is on track to practice on Wednesday. We'll see. You know, EJ's normal rep load throughout the week. We take care of him a little bit on Wednesday, so we'll take that as it goes. But I know he's itching to play, so we'll see how the knee feels throughout the week.
By and large, been pretty healthy offensively, right?
Yeah.
Over the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of, I think Charbonnet missed one game, Cooper Kupp missed one game. You know,
Horton obviously is
Horton,
now on IR.
Sundell is on IR. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that would, every other team has got at least one or two guys that have missed some time. So, yeah, it's really been on defense and in the secondary especially. And we don't know yet if Julian Love is going to come off IR this week. He and Eric Saubert are eligible to come off this week because they've missed the required 4 games. But according to Macdonald yesterday, they had not made a decision. And obviously that's something that you take all the way to the end of the week. So actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. That's in terms of, that's not true. Never mind. They're going to probably make a decision on Wednesday whether or not to start that window. Because when a guy's coming off IR, you start his 21-day practice window, and you allow him to practice for 3 weeks before adding him back to the roster. So,
gosh, it'd be nice to get all those pieces back. As good as they have played, just think the continuity you hope to continue to develop down the stretch into a playoff run. It'd be nice to get some of those boys back.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
But Sam's been available, and that's not been the case for Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. He was all last year. 14 wins, amazing stability. Sam Darnold, QB position this year, been rocked by injuries to J.J. McCarthy, obviously, to Carson Wentz with the season ender. J.J. comes back. Now he goes into concussion protocol. Here was their head coach, Kevin O'Connell, talking about J.J. in particular and what it means for this week.
J.J. McCarthy, over the course of our travel home, reported some kind of symptoms and in regards to his head, and we wanted to get back here once we kind of heard that. He was evaluated last night, and after completing those tests, our training staff and doctors and medical team have decided that the right place for him is to put him into the protocol for now, and he'll go through that process this week.
He's been taking a beating. And when you're not anticipatory, like Kevin Seifert talked about with us in the first hour of the show, and you don't anticipate and you hold the ball in this league, you take a pounding. 5 sacks, didn't even speak to the beating he took once again this last weekend. If he can't go, it'll be Mad Max Brosmer, the rookie undrafted free agent from Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think that really throws into sharp relief like how well Sam Darnold has done this season at avoiding those hits. I mean, he's been sacked 11 times in 11 games, I believe, is the number, and just does a really good job of not taking a lot of hits. And maybe that's part of the conversation about running is he's not running nearly as much this season. He's not scrambling as much, but he's also not taking those hits that often you have to take when you do that. And so it's just one of the many things Darnold is doing well this season is, by and large, he's getting the ball out on time.
Brady, what have I talked about is your greatest ability in the NFL?
Availability.
And hugely important for Sam, for this offense, for all that they've been doing as he did a year ago. Not only do you have to be a tough guy and weather some of those hits, you got to have answers, and you got to know where to get the ball out and get rid of the ball, and he's done a phenomenal job of that as well.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, speaking of phenomenal, the South Sound and the East Side has been phenomenal when it comes to high school football in the state of Washington. I can't remember a year quite like this. The South Puget Sound League with 3 of the 4 finalists in the 4A, the highest level of football. That would be the Puyallup Vikings and Sumner Spartans. Graham Kapowison taking on Lake Stevens. So just an amazing football for all of those. That will be a rematch, actually, with Puyallup and Sumner. And Puyallup looking for that state title that they won back in 1987 with Billy Joe. And then on the 3A side, my goodness gracious, I mean, the East Side once again. And kudos to Mount Tahoma East Side Catholic on one side, Bellevue, O'Day, a rematch of Brady Henderson's 2004 state title game. I got that right?
That's right, 2004 in the Tacoma Dome.
What happened?
Not a great memory. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I think
was
some
that
of
Butch Goncharoff heyday? I think that was the heyday
it sure
of the
was.
Wolverines,
Yeah,
right?
Jamichael. What was it? Hasty? What was his first name?
Yeah, Hasty.
James,
JJ.
Something. I don't want to think about it. Yeah, bad memories.
We'll forget about that.
Yeah,
That's
but
everything you need to know.
But O'Day did beat Bellevue in the title game last year.
O'Day got some dudes now. They got some serious power 4 defensive guys and defensive linemen, and Monty Kohler just keeps on winning. Speaking of winning, that's what our Mariners did all season long. Join us throughout the day tomorrow. We're going to really celebrate them on Wednesday for all the Mariners did for us. We're going to have a little Thanksgiving special to honor them. We're dedicating an hour of each and every show. For this show, it'll be our 9 a.m. hour. You're going to hear interviews with Kevin Martinez and Justin Hollander, and Aaron Goldsmith's going to join us to celebrate the 25 AL West champs and preview the 26 campaign a little bit. Jerry DiPoto, Justin, Dan, as well as broadcasters and executives all over our airwaves all day tomorrow as we celebrate them. And if you miss any of it, you can find those interviews on our YouTube page or via the Seattle Sports app. 866-979-3776. Got a few good questions for Answer the Question Jerk. 866-979-3776. But we always love more, and Brady enjoys it as much as I do, to end every Tuesday show. So go ahead and fire those in. I'm going to throw a few guys and a few questions at Brady next. As much as we talk about these Seahawks, as much as we live and breathe Seahawks all during the football season, nobody breathes it closer than Brady does. Down there every single day covering this team. I asked him for a tidbit or two on a few of these guys to get to know just a little bit more. We'll do that with Brady. We'll answer your questions, and then we'll turn it over to Bump and Stacy. What a day as we get ready for Thanksgiving holiday. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Bump and Stacy.
I was talking a big game.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
I said the Seahawks are going to win by 20, and we wanted 2 things: win with style points and don't turn the ball over. 1 for 2.
This is why I didn't want to buy into the blowout.
Well,
I said it was a possibility, but I also said this is the NFL and things are going to happen. And also, if you just take away that punt return, then the score looks a bit different.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers detect those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Hi, it's me, Flo. Here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even bad hair day?
Yep.
And tree branch fell on my car day?
Especially that day. Progressive has you covered 24/7 for your home and auto.
How about thought it was chicken, but it was tuna day? Or overnight construction outside my bedroom day?
Those days too.
Great, because that was each day this week.
Been there. Well, at least your home and auto are covered every day with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
The best time of the year is here, Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers.
Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, coming down the home stretch. It's always fun when time flies. You kind of know a show is rolling. When Brady Henderson's in for Salk and feel like the backups did their job today. We were kind of like Ty Okada, Patio. You come in and, it's expectations. No, because you're ready. You're ready.
Ready to let it rip.
Mike Macdonald ain't scared. He's scared when those guys play. He's excited to hear all that Brady Henderson has in store for Answer the Question Jerk. We could use a question or two more. Got a few. Got a handful.
We
Thank
actually
you,
have quite
Wally.
a few we haven't gotten in here yet that came over.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
okay. 866-979-3776. I asked Brady last night. I said, Brady, I'd like to know these guys a little bit more. And since you had some extra time at the airport because you missed a flight or two, kind of scrambling around, you were able to put a few little notes together on these guys that we know. But I'm curious from your perspective. You do, man. You got great insights because of proximity. You're close to this program. You're close to these players. You're close to this team in ways that others, other than maybe Greg and Bob and Brian and a few others, Michael, are able to do. So if you wouldn't mind, give me a tidbit or two on a few of these Seahawks. Let's start with the guy that I believe is second in tackles for loss amongst inside linebackers in all the NFL. And he's only gotten full starter snaps since week 6. That would be that little Drake Thomas, who just seems to be everywhere on the field. Tell me something I don't know about Drake.
He really does, yeah. So there was a chance that the Seahawks, they wanted to get him, whether it was in the 2023 draft or to sign him as an undrafted guy. They tried to make that happen. And here's a little some insight into how the pre-draft visits work, and maybe one of the points of those. So obviously, when you bring a guy in for a pre-draft visit, you either want to get some more information on him, which is probably the primary reason, whether it's medical or you want to learn about the personality. The other reason that teams do that, or at least teams like the Seahawks and I'm sure other teams, is they target guys that they want to sign as undrafted free agents, and they use those as almost recruiting visits, right? You show that guy some love. You show him around the building. You have him meet the coaches. You show him, in the Seahawks case, that great facility they have. And what does John Schneider say? All the firepower they have in their building. And you use that basically as a recruiting trip. And they brought in Drake Thomas on a pre-draft visit. Now, he didn't end up signing with them afterwards. He signed with the Raiders. He got waived, and presumably the Raiders were going to try to get him on their practice squad, but that's how the Seahawks got him, is that they put in a claim for him, and he was one of, I think, 3 players that they claimed that year. So what you're seeing from Drake Thomas now, this was something that the Seahawks, I don't know if they could have envisioned this, but he was a guy that they tried to get after the 2023 draft. And you mentioned the tackles for loss. 9 tackles for loss over the last 8 games. That's impressive stuff.
Unbelievable. You know what? It's incredible, too, is and we can joke about these arm length and hand length and size and measurables, but it's not really a joke to the guys at the NFL level, because there's enough data over 60, 70 years to say, no, this creates advantages. This gives guys these traits, just give you more opportunity. And now, Brady, you're seeing it more and more at the college level. Why? Well, because colleges are hiring a lot of folks from the NFL to be their GMs. Jim Nagy, the GM for the Oklahoma Sooners, was with the Seahawks in their scouting department, obviously ran the Senior Bowl. Yeah. But you're seeing a real trickle-down effect to so many college programs that do the same thing. I reference that because I'm looking at Drake Thomas. Someone had told me this, and I was like, what? 29-inch arms. Like, that is about as short as any. Like, not only is he kind of vertically challenged, which is not always as big a deal. Hall of Famers have been, 5'10", 5'11", playing linebacker. Yep. Zach Thomas and Sam Mills and Dave Wyman would tell you there's times it's a great advantage because you can hide and you can leverage and your center of gravity is lower, right? All those things. But when you have 29-inch arms, there is tremendous reservation. Like, this guy can't get off people. Like, if they get their hands on him, it's over. Like a boxer in a fight, right? Like this guy but he overcomes that with such unbelievable pop. And again, I'll use that word leverage and instincts and all those things to just, man, been an unbelievably refreshing, just pleasant surprise this year.
Now, he is, and I don't mean to diminish anything of what he's done, but do you think the arm length maybe shows up in some of the tackling that maybe, he just doesn't have that same kind of reach that other guys do?
Makes it harder. Makes it harder to get off guys. Makes it harder which again is why the pass defense too is awesome. Because all of those things play a role, man. Every inch matters in the NFL. You hear that said all the time. Okay, what about Derek Hall? What do we know about Derek Hall?
Yeah, Derek Hall. So one of the wonderful things about working at ESPN is we have this great database. And I looked up the database about pressure rates, right, among all defenders. Derek Hall ranks third in the NFL in pressure rate. Now, there's subjectivity.
What does that mean?
Yeah, just the amount of pass rush opportunities, the rate of pass rush plays, the rate of pressures on pass rush plays.
Okay.
Now, that is different than pass rush win rate because there's a timing element of that, right? A pass rush win, in terms of pass rush win rate, that is hard to say fast.
Wow.
That measures how often a guy beats his blocker in 2.5 seconds. So Derek Hall, not among the league leaders in pass rush win rate, but he's among the league leaders in pressure rate. And I'm going to guess that a big part of that correlation is that Derek Hall has a freaking motor that does not stop. So he may not win right away. Like you see Boye Mafe, and I think he's 9th in pass rush win rate because he's really good at getting those quick pressures with that great burst he has off the line of scrimmage. But you don't see Mafe turn that pressure into sacks. Now, Derek Hall, I think that sack he had in the game Sunday was only his first sack of the season, but it feels like he gets to the quarterback a lot more, and I think he does it because even if he doesn't win initially, he's got a motor that does not stop, and he's going to get there. And I think that is maybe one of the differences in his game versus Maffe's. Two guys who obviously were loaded with talent, went in the second round, but Hall's got that just motor, that dog mentality to him, and that's why he ends up getting as much pressure as he does.
Remind me, does he also have the big trucks?
He does. Yep.
He's a big truck guy, right?
Big truck
motor,
guy.
big
Lifted
truck guy. Big motors, big lifted truck guys. Byron Murphy, probably not lifted big trucks, right? Harder to get in at 6 foot or whatever. He has got a little something for Byron Murphy.
Yeah, well, it's just speaking to the that pass rush win rate. Byron Murphy ranks 7th in the NFL among interior defensive linemen in pass rush win rate. And again, that measures not just how often you pressure a quarterback, but how often you beat your block within 2.5 seconds. So, I don't have a ton of great insight there because we all know the kind of season that Byron Murphy is having, and this is very much what the Seahawks saw in him. And I remember hearing Jaron Reed over the summer talk about how this guy is defensive player of the year type talent, and it sounded crazy to hear that after what was a somewhat nondescript rookie season.
What do you have, one sack last
year? A half sack last year. Yeah, plenty of disruption, but not a lot of production, and now you're seeing that disruption turn into production with, what does he have, 5-6 sacks this year, a bunch of tackles for loss, and you just feel him factor into what seems like every game.
I can't imagine trying to block that guy.
Yeah.
And you could say that about a bunch of these dudes. Like, I just can't imagine trying to block DeMarcus Lawrence with his arm length. Right, if Drake's 29, I think, golly, he's like 35, and you see it, just a wingspan for days, like Mora Dooley. Like, just good luck trying to block him or Mora Dooley on that flag football field. Not gonna happen. How do you block Byron Murphy? The guy is so unbelievably low to the ground and squatty, and most of those human beings do not have elite twitch, and he brings both of those things. And then you throw Leonard Williams into that. And then you throw, as you said, the energy of Derek Hall into that. And you start to see why this front is right there with who? The Rams, maybe the Eagles, if they're in that list. Like, who else can throw that kind of arsenal? The Broncos. Broncos are really good and obviously lead the league in sacks, and they're getting contributions from everybody. But, man, this group is filthy. Okay, last two guys, a Cat and a Grizz. A Montana State, and they somehow, some way found a way to win the brawl, and a great game on Saturday in Missoula. Ty Okada from Montana State, Patrick O'Connell from Montana.
Yeah, Ty Okada, I was interested in this after the remember that interception he had against Washington where he goes up on the sideline and high points the ball and gets his feet in bounds, and he looked like a receiver on that play, frankly. He had a 40.5-inch vertical jump. Now, this was not at the Combine. I don't think he went to the Combine, but this was at Montana State's Pro Day in 2023. Ran like a 4.44 and had a 40.5-inch vertical jump.
And you compare that to Bob Condotta, who had an 8.5-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think maybe you could slide like one of his other sandals underneath the Condotta vertical jump. But yeah. And that was, I mean, to put that in perspective, that's going to rank in most years, that's probably going to rank in the top 10 among like all players at a Combine is a 40.5-inch vertical jump. It's not 43, which Nick Emanwari posted this past year, but 40.5-inch vertical jump is pretty good. 4.44, pretty good for a safety. So Ty Okada is there's some definite athleticism.
Surprisingly athletic, as some would like to say.
Some would say sneaky athletic.
Sneaky athletic. And anything on Patio? That dude just, holy smokes, did he hit some folks the other day?
Yeah, the only thing I got for you on Patio is that this is – so I'll just give you a little bit of the way it works for us reporters during the season. So obviously in training camp, we get to watch all the practices the entire way through. During the season, we only get to watch the first 5-10 minutes, and there's all they're doing is just stretching and doing their.
It's really just roll call, right?
Yeah.
It's about the only thing you can get is to see who's dressed, who's got a helmet, who's in civilian clothes, right?
Yeah. And just to kind of give fans and the audience kind of just a lay of the scene, lay of the land, and everything. But yeah, every time we go out there, first guy on the field, save for maybe the specialists, is Patrick O'Connell, and he's out there going through his stretching routine. And you see, some guys are still filing in. Like by the time we're leaving, 10 minutes after the fact, some guys are still filing in. But every single day, Patrick O'Connell, save for the kicker and punter and the long snapper, he's the first guy out there by himself going through his own stretching routine.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty good insights there from Brady Henderson, why we love when he can fill in for me when I'm out, when Salk when he is out. Absolute blast and just a treasure trove of some great information, Brady, man. Always appreciate that. And speaking of which, we will have the same for you all tomorrow. You can join us. I've tried to remind you guys a bunch. We're going to, tomorrow on Wednesday, really give some Thanksgiving to the Mariners, who brought all of us such an unbelievable run all the way to the ALCS and further in the race than they've ever made it before. So we're going to dedicate an hour of each and every show tomorrow to celebrate the 2025 AL West champs and preview the 26 campaign. You'll hear interviews with Jerry. Justin will be on our show, Dan Wilson, as well as broadcasters. Goldie will be with us tomorrow, Kevin Martinez, and others. And if you miss anything, you can find those interviews, so much more, on our YouTube page or the Seattle Sports app. Maura, Lyle, I'm going to start with you two. You two. I see the whole list of questions here. We got some good ones. Brady and I will answer them. If you got a last one you want to fire away, 866-979-3776 as we answer your questions. But I'm going to fire one your way as we start. Answer the question, jerk.
This is Brock and Salk's Answer the Question, Jerk.
Keep asking questions. Come on, I'll answer them. Come on, I'm here. I'm going to answer your questions, dang it.
Answer the question! The question, jerk! Well, don't just stand there. Answer the question, jerk!
Ooh, I like it. Maura, did you highlight these bottom ones in particular as being like really good ones? Because there's some really, of course, Matt Morgan.
No, I think Lyle just...
Oh, just added them?
The ones he added were a different format.
Oh, there's some good ones on here. Miss Maura, since this will be our final day, you're going to produce the afternoon show tomorrow. Lefko's going to be in with me. Lyle's heading to New York City. The big city, the Big Apple, or around there, to New York anyway, for family Thanksgiving. Maura, what you are looking forward to the most on your Thanksgiving table to devour on Thursday will be?
Oh, I'm with Coach Macdonald. It's the stuffing, for sure.
Oh,
and then
really?
Gravy on everything, yeah.
Oh, and gravy on everything.
I put it on the stuffing, the potatoes, the turkey.
I was watching a little Mike Leach. They had a throwback to Coach Leach. He used to make the gravy, and he was right there with you, Maura. Put it on everything. So, are we fancy stuffing? Are we out of the box?
I did fancy stuffing last year, and I didn't like it as much.
So you're
going out
of the
the
box?
Fresh, big hunks of breadcrumbs from Met Market, and I think I like the smaller ones, and it was too sagey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go like Pepperidge Farm or something.
once again, Maura, Coach Macdonald, same page. Lyle, are you still, as you age, are you aging out of your love and fascination for cranberries?
Absolutely not. That takes up a third of my plate, cranberry sauce. I'll just devour it.
I feel like cranberry sauce is an accompaniment or like a condiment.
Not for me, it's not.
Okay. Well, I asked for dating questions, relationship questions, love questions, food questions, travel questions. Anything is out there. And, of course, our buddy Matt down in Oregon, a loyal listener. Matt, I look forward to meeting you one day. And if I already have, I apologize for forgetting like I did with Lyle. How long do you have to be dating someone before you invite them to Thanksgiving?
That's a good question.
I think Molly and I started. When did we start? We started dating in the spring. But had we started dating in the fall, I was ready to marry her 2 months in. I've said that before.
Really?
2 months in. 2 months in. Let's just get married. So I would have invited her probably a weekend. When you know, you know. And I knew with Molly. So.
Yeah. When you know, you know. Yeah, I would say, gosh, I don't know, Thanksgiving. It's case by case. Ballpark, I would just say probably 2-3 months, maybe. Yeah.
Maura? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I booked my trip home for Christmas last year when Chris and I were like 3 months into dating, and that felt too soon to ask someone to travel with you to meet your parents.
Yeah,
so we waited.
Yeah, there's a travel element to it that's a little different, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
You were ready to marry Molly after how long?
A day.
Well, let's be real here.
So Aaron in the coop.
Brock's never even met my boyfriend, and he was ready for me to get married at 2 months in. So Brock just wants everyone to get married.
Just get married, Chris. Come on, Chris. Let's go. Aaron in the coop. Answer the question, Brady the Hitman. So you don't know how to cook anything for Thanksgiving, and most of the times you could get away without cleaning up. So you just go to the store and pick up a couple of wines to take over to the gathering. Bro, be a man and learn how to cook something on YouTube. Happy Thanksgiving.
But no one has ever needed me to help out. No one has ever asked me. My uncle, typically we go to his place. His partner is from Thailand, so there's usually some Thai food there as as a starter. And then we do the traditional Thanksgiving. So my job is basically to go there, watch football, answer some Seahawks questions over dinner, and then
will you bring
get out
some
of there.
wine? Do you ever bring some wine? Do you think of making a fun cocktail? Is it not that kind of?
I did make some Singapore slings last year. I don't know why, but
is that with the cobra blood?
No, that is a gin-based drink. Yeah, there's no cobra blood in Singapore slings. Although you could probably try it out.
Jerks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I got nothing. I hardly look.
Well, you're going to probably have nothing on this then either. So Lyle, Maura, you can weigh in. 509. Jerks, you and your significant other are invited to a Christmas party. You're tasked with bringing an appetizer. What is your go-to appetizer that's sure to not disappoint? Ooh. Lyle, you're out on this one, right? Do you even know what an appetizer is, Lyle?
I don't know.
Lyle,
I mean, yes, I know what an appetizer is.
3 appetizers that one would bring to a Christmas party?
Appetizers? Sorry.
Mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers.
I feel like I see shrimp cocktail out a lot as a Thanksgiving appetizer.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Molly has this. It's been passed down. I think it was an NFL wife. That was really cool about the NFL world. Looking back, and Molly and I talk about it a lot. How blessed we were in so many ways to have family, fraternity, friendship baked in. Because it was our life through sports in junior high and high school and college. And to get to continue that in the NFL and just have this brotherhood and sisterhood. And I remember the Seahawks and Sandy Gregory, one of my all-time favorites. They would do like a calendar. It was a cooking calendar, and they'd have a recipe of the players and their families. So this was passed down from one of the former Seahawk wives, and it was a family deal of theirs with just this brie and this, and you use dough. You can make your own dough, or you could buy it in the store. But it was just a cheesy, pretty, melt in your mouth. Oh my gosh, I think I could eat this whole thing and pass out kind of deal. So that's usually been our kind of go-to appetizer.
Yep. We may have a little news here. You were wondering last night because Quandre Diggs had tweeted back to work
Yeah.
Whether he might be on a team again. He just posted, no sources needed, just my guy at Blitz the Seahawk. Looks like a picture of Blitz, the Seahawks mascot, and his daughter.
Oh, Quandre may be coming back to Seattle.
Seems like Quandre Diggs might be back here.
Oh, answer the question, jerk, Brady. Quandre Diggs, as a Seahawk to cover, was?
I liked it because he was one of those guys who was not afraid to tell it like it is. And, you got some honest answers out of him. And, there was always kind of a little bit of fun back and forth with with reporters with him is, there was kind of some playful tension, I would say.
Yeah.
But he's a fun guy to cover, fun guy to watch play football, too.
Well, he's got a lot
and the music
of
to this is
backgrounds.
I'm Coming Home. So, yeah. Seems
Coming home. Very cool.
Seems like some news there.
Well, let's
Ty Okada probably goes
send
on
off
the
some
IR,
texts.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brady's gonna do a little bit of work. Brady's gonna do a little work.
Get some actual confirmation other than just a mascot tweet here.
Let's see here. 509 again. Brady, you can do some texting if you need to do that. Don't feel bad. Lyle Lamore and I can answer this. Is there any item on the Thanksgiving plate that does not belong on the day after Thanksgiving sandwich? Yeah, green bean casserole does not belong on that sandwich the next day.
Anything sweet potato related?
Sweet potato doesn't belong on that sandwich. Turkey does. Cheese does.
Put mashed potatoes on there.
On the sandwich or to the side?
Sure.
I mean, leftovers are great. Stuffing's great as leftovers. Mashed potatoes, all of it's great the next day, and just slop it all
You
on
could
the
definitely put
sandwich.
cranberry on the sandwich. Lyle's favorite.
Oh, yes, you could. Let's see. Oh, good question. Who puts down more food? The final question here at the Thanksgiving dinner. Josh Naylor or Cal Raleigh? Naylor or Raleigh? What do you think, Lyle?
I
This
feel
is up
like
your wheelhouse right here. What do you think?
this actually sparks a good question of I wonder who the biggest eater on the Mariners is, like who can put down the most food, period. But for Thanksgiving, of these two, I'll go with Cal.
You'll go with Cal? I think, I bet you he can put down some. He looks like he just devours food. Luke Raley. I bet he's a food consumer. All right, Brady, you
You
got
have a
work to do
cocktail
now.
on Thanksgiving?
Do I have a cocktail
Yeah,
on
you-
Thanksgiving? Not really.
No?
No, we've been a little more. Damon's got amazing wine when we've done Thanksgiving, but it's been some time since we've got to hang with old Damon and the whole Heward family all over the place, divided, drives Grandma Peg crazy. So
Yeah.
Brady,
well, I don't
you
drink,
just,
as you know, so won't be having
no, for sure not. You just dance. You just dance the night
just
away
eat.
in Nashville and eat. That's it. That is answering the question. Thank you for all the contributions, as always. Brady, thank you seriously for jumping in. I don't stress anymore. I used to stress. I don't stress anymore because I know when you're sitting in that seat, man, it's going to be a blast.
Well, it's
Learn
always fun.
something every time.
I appreciate you having me, Brock. Thank you, my friend.
And for Maura Dooley, who puts the whole show together for Lyle, you were on it today, man. You were all over that board. You were on the details. Have a wonderful time with your family back east, Maura. Have fun producing the afternoon show tomorrow. We will miss you. It will be Lefko and I. And just remember, all day tomorrow, an hour of every show on this station, we are going to give thanks to the Mariners. And I know this already because we taped a few of the interviews. You're going to hear thanks right back at you, Mariners fans, for all that you brought to the table in what was a remarkable season and one we're kind of experiencing with the Seahawks as well. We've got it pretty good here in town. A lot to be thankful for. Thankful for you all listening. As always, you can find everything on the app on our YouTube page if you missed it at all. But for this day, Mr. Henderson, the hay.
It's in the barn.
It's in the barn. See you.
Get to the chopper!
Four down territory. Michael Bumpus answers the top four football questions of the day.
What do you want to see continue from the Seahawks offense?
Just find different ways to get Shaheed the football. All right, we're done with, okay, let's ease you into this whole situation. They brought you here to go over the top and be explosive in the reverse and in the return game. I think you keep running that jet sweep look too as well, man. You get the offense flowing on one side.
Catch every four down territory on the Seattle Sports app.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying two phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together, like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really worth